Oop. Oh man, why is my microphone in the wrong place? There we go. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Let me just set up the window here. Alright, so yeah, sorry about not streaming on Sunday. Things came up. And by things, I mean Guilty Gear. My hands are still aching from trying to learn to IAD with a stick. But anyway, yeah. So we have the clan selection winners and losers video that we made. That's gonna... So the winners and losers video came out already. We have the stuff on deck log. Let me switch to that now. Glad you're feeling the void for lack of Strive. Don't worry. You made a Strive? I haven't played Strive yet because I don't have a PS4. That's the wrong screen. So as much as I'd like to play Strive, I don't have a way to play Strive. I'm probably gonna pick up Kai on release. And then I'll switch to Elfelt when the DLC comes out. I'm currently learning Elfelt in Exard, so... Hey Adis, how's it going? So like I said, Sunday night I was busy playing Exard instead of doing anything productive, and then on Monday I had work, like a bunch of work came up, and then I was talking to some other friends and then we were hanging out and like watching anime and stuff. So I'm only getting around to the decklist primer article now, so I figured, well, I might as well turn on the stream because I'm going to be busy tomorrow because we're playing... I'm going to be on stream for the Y Schwartz UK Open Top Cut, round 1 of Top Cut. So I unfortunately lost my final round of Swiss, so I ended Swiss on an X2 record, which puts me at the 4th seed going into the winners, like the Top Cut bracket. And because I'm 4th seed, I ended up not, like, because there's 13 players in Top Cut, I have to play an extra round of Top Cut, which is... It's not ideal. I would have liked, you know, if I had won, I would have been 3rd, which would have given me a seed into round 2 of Top Cut, which would have been really ideal. But, you know, it happens. It's Y Schwartz. Like, I was... Without wanting to sound salty or complain, like, I was winning the entire game, and then I just refreshed with 5 in, refreshed the climax, and died, so... But yeah, anyway, so today we're just going to be building the decks for the article that I'm going to write probably sometime tomorrow, Thursday. I'm going to say it on stream now. I'm going to try and get like this decklist article out by Friday. That's my goal. So like, I'm not going to say I promise. That's definitely what I'm going to go for. But yeah, anyway, we're just going to jump straight into it. You know, I'll just be building these lists, you know, saying my thought process out loud for those who are interested. And yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on the chat now and again. If you don't have a chat and just like ask random stuff, we can do that as well. Like kind of chill, just building lists and being like, is this good? Is this not good? And just going from there. So yeah, just jumping straight in with Royal Paladin. The first thing I want to say is for standard, I'm actually not sure about standard because, you know, I have friends that have been testing premium Royal Paladin and it's fine. I've seen people like trying to play Ashley with Sankguard, and I don't think that's correct because you just have like these two engines that don't interact, and you're shoving like two 12-card engines together, hoping that it works, which I think is wrong. Ashley MLB is also wrong because MLB needs like 15 pieces of support. You don't have space for all of it. I did see floating around. I did see floating around an Ashley alt mile list on Twitter. And yeah, I think that has a lot of that. I think that's possibly legit. Like, the problem is, you can't play pure Duel Knights. I think that's, like, there's not enough there to make it viable. If there was, like, 1 or 2 extra Duel Knights, definitely. But with just 3, I feel like it's not quite enough. I feel like you burn too much soul. I agree, but I think it's, like, it's the next best option, right? I think the important thing is that in Ashley Sankguard or Ashley MLB, for example, or even like, you know, like Ashley Alpha or Ashley Gansel or like Ashley whatever Blaster Blade archetype, you want to have both Ashley and the other grade 3 on your Vanguard at the same time. The thing with playing Altmile is that it lets you have Ashley on your rear guard. Like, you then don't need Ashley on your Vanguard anymore because Altmile just gives you the power boost and then Ashley just turns into like an extra attack, which I think is really valuable. The problem is that, like, yeah, it costs soul, but I think Ashley on its own just isn't enough. Ashley Ganslot, I don't think that's legit either. Because, like, if you could Ashley into Blaster Blade, I'd see it, but you can't. So you're swinging with this Ashley, who then turns into some other grade 2 Jewel Knight, which you can then give a crit from Ashley's skill on the rearguard circle. And then you have Gancelot and Blaster Blade that don't really do anything. Like, you know, you just get triggers and put them on the whatever Ashley calls. It's okay, I just don't think it's good enough. And we'll start with, like, we're definitely gonna start with 12 Jewel Knights. That's definitely happening. Tuesday stream? Yeah, it's because I didn't stream on Sunday, and I'm probably not streaming tomorrow. Like, this is, like, Diet Connect is decent. I'm tempted to, like, shove in 1 or 2, we'll see. Maron's really good. Edith is, I could see Edith definitely working. It definitely fixes, like, the soul problems. The only issue is that, like, you want to be using Ediths on alt miles, not Ashley's. That's the only, like, that's the only concern there. But there is a really cool interaction where if you have Edith boosting Ashley, you can use Edith first to shove the Ashley into Soul, and then counter Soul Blast 2 to call the Ashley out again. So if you don't have enough Soul, the Ashley can be its own Soul Blast cost, which is pretty cool. The only downside is that if you use Edith first, you then don't get to counter Blast 1 to give the called unit a crit. It's a trade-off. Did you set up BTTV? I did. Go for it. Yeah, the thank God grade 1s and grade 2 are kind of cool. I just don't know if they're that cool. Like, what's his effect? Yeah, thank God Vanguard name, so that's irrelevant. He's just not on right otherwise. On play, counter blast 1, top 7, call a grade 1. It's alright, I guess. Like, this pulls out this, maybe? I don't know though. And put them back. Yeah, you can reuse it, but I just don't like. It's also focused. That's my concern here. Let's keep going for now. Let's see what else we have. This could be good actually, Gamoris, because you can recycle. Because it recycles your Jewel Knight grade 1 and grade 2, so you can use the Jewel Knight grade 1 grade 2s to recycle the grade 3s. Maybe. Grade 2 cycles? Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine, but you might need more, maybe, and it gives power, which is pretty cool. Maybe not. No? Let's put in traders for now. Bartgall, what are we looking at? Pretty straightforward. In fact, I think we should shove in Cecilius and call it a day on the grade 1s. Which then gives us 8 slots to shove in some more alt miles and grade 2s. So do you want to play... Is this... This needs an alt mile name, right? Yeah. No, it doesn't. Okay. It's just on attack, so I've lost 1. Bounce a ray guard. It could work. I'm trying to remember what the TD alt mile does. I actually don't remember. Where's TD alt mile? TD alt mile, what does you do? Radar circle, if your damage is face down, becomes a 28k beat stick. Cool. I'm lost 1, ditch 1, deck search for 2 grade 2s. I think this is the line. I'm shoving the Hope Song Violence package and then 3 of the TD alt mile? It seems alright. It's really awkward how alt mile looks for grade 2s but you're playing so many grade 1s. This also recycles, right? Put them from drop zone, the bottom of the deck, yep. Soul charges, which is pretty useful, count blast as well, which is great. I think for every JK is wrong, I don't think so. Because this soul charges, which is great, this soul charges, which is great, and they both recycle, which is also really great. And this only calls Jewel Knights, remember. Wasn't MLB Jewel Knight not shit? No, MLB Jewel Knight's pretty bad. Because if you're playing MLB Jewel Knight, like, I just don't think you have enough slots, honestly. Like, let me try it. Let me just, out of curiosity, let's try that. But like, you start playing like a regular MLB deck, and then you shove in like 4 Ashley and then 4 the Jewel Knight grade 2, which I don't think is good enough. I mean, we can try. solves the issue with the whole MLB's 3-stack 4-stack? Maybe? You don't get to play Edith though, which is super sad. 4... or... Shoving 2 of that for now. Sparkle. So yeah. Looking kind of tight. We haven't even added Libero yet. Where is Libero? Shoving the Liberos. What are we missing? Triggers? Yeah, triggers. Really, literally these 2 cards over even with triggers, holy shit. Okay, so I guess we cut one of these. I'm playing 5. Yeah, this is so tough, right? Like, I guess you just cut Trumpeter? Cutting Trumps is pretty cringe, but I think you might have to do it. Like, I think you have to be... Because the problem is, like, if you could Ashley for Ashley, it'd be ideal. Obviously, Ashley for Ashley would cause, like, you know, a mega loop, because you can then just Soul Blast 2 for every Ashley. You have to run all of these. So these 2 have to be 4. Cut the Libero, I guess? But then your grade 1s are just not that good. That's the other problem. Like, add more Maron. Still only 7 grade 1s. Like, come on, like, this is not a good ratio, right? And the problem is that these 12 grade 2s are mandatory, and these 6 grade 2s you really, really want to have. I think the space just isn't there. And like, sure, you can, you're like, oh, you have order, you don't need to play 4 MLBs, you can get away with playing 2 or 3 MLB. But MLB is still a really good rearguard, because it gains crit on rearguard. And like, you know, you can't bank on having double Ashley on rearguard every single time, because you're only playing 4. I haven't even had Cecilius yet, holy shit. So if you had like, you know, like 3 Cecilius, like, you cut down to 3 MLB, 2 order, but then, you know, you need to have like maybe cut a Libero. It feels really bad as well because Libero sets up your MLB. Like, you see, it's just all of this not quite there. It's like also lose if you're, yeah, exactly. Like, and because of that, I want to play 4 order and 4 MLB, but you don't have the space because then you need right consistency. And playing the grade 2 Jewel Knight just ruins everything. But you have to play it at 4 of because it's your main target off Ashley. And like, unlike normal MLB decks that don't need to run Cecilius at all, because you have now a grade 3 rearguard that you want on the rearguard circle, you have to have the Cecilius to be able to search for the Ashley. And it's just like, oh. And then with Cecilius, like, you know, you're gonna be discarding stuff like excess Blaster Blades and excess orders. And then that gives you more incentive to run Starhawk Trumpeter to get them back and get the plus. And it's just like, do you need Maron? I think Maron's really good. Like, Maron's really good. So there's so little counterblast in this deck. Also, I would not feel comfortable cutting a Maron because you're only playing 10 grade 1s as it is. Like, I want to be playing like at 11, maybe even 12. Like, here's the thing, right? If you weren't playing the grade 3, if you weren't playing the 8 Jewel Knights, these 8 Jewel Knights could easily go into like grade 1 slots for these 2. More orders, star calls, all this good stuff. It's just like, it's just not quite there. Here's the thing, like, this is 51, and the only thing I can think of cutting at this point is just cutting Libero altogether. And cutting Libero altogether is pretty bad. So the argument for cutting Libero is you can't Libero for Ashley. That's my mentality. I agree, MLB alone is not very good anymore either. That's the thing, like, MLB is not good because it's just a little bit out of date now. Like, it's not as strong as the other decks in the meta, and I don't think if Ashley fixes that perfectly. Like, you see what I mean? Like, all of these cards are good, but you can't just like, it's not quite there. I don't know. You tell me, Mark. Is cutting Libero the play? Is cutting Libero the play? I would go down order before Libero? Absolutely not. No. Because then you're only playing 5 ride targets, and that's also a disaster. MLB Ash is a bad deck? I wouldn't call it bad. I just think the deck is not... like, the deck doesn't function well enough. You can't really have a blast out. No, you want the dog, you want Wingull to find you... You want Wingull to find you your blasters, and then the blasters will let you to use the order. Like, that's why I want to play 4... That's why I want to play 4 order. Like, I almost want to say go down to 3 Blaster Blade and 3 Blaster Dark, and bump up to 4 order and a 4th Maron. Because by having maxing out on these, it increases the chances of finding these, and then you have Libero on top. Yeah, let's try that. So let's drop these, put in the 4th that. Oh, that's 50 on the dot. Oh, that's super yikes. That's super yikes. And if you're cutting these, you want to add more Libero to be able to get these when you need them, right? You see, it's just like, it's all not quite there. Like, it's, I want to do this, but then that makes me do this, then that makes me do this, and then that takes you back to square one. Like, oh, let's roll with this for now. MLB JK. I'm not happy with this. I'm really not happy with this. But it is a deck. Arguments that it does more than pure? Absolutely, I completely respect that argument. But does it do more than Altmile JK? That's an Altmile, that's also fair. I respect that argument as well. 15 grade 1s is a lot, that's the other issue here. And the problem is you need Maron, because Maron's the most effective use of Counterblast. That said, it has just occurred to me that the grade 1 Jewel Knight is not once per turn. This isn't once per turn. So actually, I think we can cut Marons. And then this gives us space to add Libero. Is there a Libero? No. Libaro? Is it Va? It is Va. Okay, yep. This looks a bit better. Yeah, because I was worried about having Counterblast for Sicilius and Altmile. But then I realized, like, if you can just spam this, like, you know, just waste all your Counterblast in one turn on this, that's totally fine. Totally fine. That's pretty good. Notorious HRT. Wow, what a name. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, you guys. Oh yeah, I just realized you guys can't see the entire deck because I've trimmed the screen a bit. Let me. Just a little bit smaller. Doge's a cat. Thank you for the follow. No constraints for VR Mile? I don't think so, because the problem with VR Mile is that if VR Alt Mile's on the Vanguard circle, you don't want Ashley on the Rearguard circle, right? Because he only pumps grade 2 units. And he only searches grade 2 units. So you can't Alt Mile into Ashley, and then what's the point of playing the Ashley engine at that point, right? Whereas TD Alt Mile, it's that bridging sort of setup stride you need, and it's also a decent rearguard beat stick. So you can have Ashley on, so you can have either of them on the quote unquote beauty of this is that these two pieces, either of them can be on Vanguard or Rearguard circle, it doesn't matter what. And then at that point, instead of like playing a specific game plan, you're just playing randomly generic good cards and trying to get there. I don't know if that's good. I'm just saying, like, it's a bit more. I don't know how to word it. Okay, put it this way. MLB, Ashley, the theory behind that is like beef Wellington, right? You take a steak and then you wrap it in pastry, and it's like it's its own like package that you've built in a specific way. Whereas Altmal, Ashley, is just like, you know, special fried rice. You just take like day-old rice, day-old ingredients, day-old meat, slightly expired eggs, shove them onto a wok and go. Right? Like, you know, no one's saying that special fried rice tastes as good as beef Wellington, but they're both fulfilling meals. Heard your name mentioned in the DF video before. Twitch onto your channel feed, jump to it. Ah, so Twitch actually works for once. Wow, look at that. Thank you very much. Your words mean a lot to me. 12, 14, 7? Does that look like good RP ratios? MLBR is a better ceiling? MLB JK, yeah, no, I agree, like, this deck will randomly win, like, this deck can win the game more often, I totally agree. But I'm saying, like, this is fine as well. It's just like, this deck will sometimes not do anything, whereas this deck will never not do anything. That's the difference we're looking at here, right? Like, ceiling versus floor. And I don't play enough Royal Paladins to know which one is correct. Do we want more of these? Help me out here, Mark. Do we want more of these two boys? Do we even need Dire Connect? I think we do need, like... Because we're not playing VR Opmal anymore, then the Soul Blast only goes to her, right? Like, the other problem with playing VR Opmal is that if you're playing VR Opmal, you want to have Opmal and Soul to give the crit. So you need to be playing multiple Opmals, and you just don't have space for that. And like, you know, if you want to like rewrite Opmals with only 4 Opmal on the deck, that's going to be super hard. Like, even with Edith. I think this is fine. Yeah, I guess this is... I don't know, like, it looks fine. The problem is I don't know Royal Paladin. Like, I just don't know Royal Paladin very well at all. So I can't say. Think you can find space? You can Twin Grey 2? Yeah? I mean, here's the thing, right? If I'm playing... Yeah, if I'm gonna play, like, the VR Opmal, this goes down to 2, this goes down... This gets cut, probably. And then that's our 4 VR Opmal. You don't need 4 4s? Well, no, you need 4 of this. You need 4 of the Jewel Knight, because it's a search target. But nothing else is a 4 of at the moment, right? Yeah, it's like 2, 3, 2, 3, like... And then if I'm playing like that many grade 3s, I'd probably want to trim a Cecilius. Is Altmal your main, right? If we're playing the VR, then I guess it is, right? Like, let's... Like, what would that look like? Shove in 4 of these. Drop that, drop that. Agree with not being a fan of 3 violin, 2 hope. What lineup would you play then? 3 hope, 2 violin? Like, what like... Again, I don't know the numbers. What's the numbers on violin and hope? You guys tell me. Violence 2? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I see that. I see that. And then... Maybe trim TD Opmal to 2? 2 violinist, 1 hope. Yeah, sure. And that makes 50 on the dot with 11, 11. Wow. What is it? Are we playing 0? With like these even grade ratios? It's like some Vanguard 0 shit. Holy moly. Get with 3 TML. I kind of want to play 2 TDML to be honest. But I guess you need it for Edith to turn on Opmal's crit. I almost want to trim a Dire Connect for a 3rd. Yeah, I almost want to trim a down to 1 Dire Connect and put up to 3 Levero. Because it's pretty nuts, right? If you can like Opmile for Levero, like Hope Song, Livero and Hope Song, and then Livero finds the die connect, something like that. Sounds pretty good, right? Wait, I actually forget what the exact wording of die connect is. On play, このユニットと同じ列にあなたの他のユニットがいるなら on place, if there's another unit in the same column as this, soul charge 1. If you soul charge a trigger unit, this gains 10k. See, the reason I think you don't need that, now hear me out, the reason I think you might not need that is because Edith is soul neutral, this is soul positive, this is soul positive, and these are the, like, this is spammable soul charge, and these are the only other soul blasts in the deck. This is once per turn, and this is like once or maybe twice per turn. So you go 0, ride 1, have 1, ride 2, have 2 soul. Ride 3, have 3 soul. Use Alt-Mouth, search for a grade 2, go down to 2 soul. Use the grade 1 Jewel Knight to counterblast your other damage, go back up to 3 soul. And then that gives you enough soul to both Edith and Ashley in the same turn. And then Edith refunds itself, because Ashley goes back in, so you're finished with 1 soul, and then next turn, then when you Ashley for whatever her name is, the grade 2 Jewel Knight, that puts you up to 2 soul, which then lets you Ashley again on the other rear guard. So actually, yeah, no, I think you can get away with that with only 1 die connect and 3 Livero. Because Livero is also the best ride target. Like, I don't want to ride any of these other grade 2s, realistically. Yes. Yeah. I think that's it. Like, these 2 build enough soul, I think you can get it without die connect. The argument is that die connect is sometimes randomly 20k, which is cool, but... Is there any other better grade 2 than die connect? Die for Cecilius? Maybe? Maybe? What other grade 2s can we even play? Suleiman? Top 7 for an Alt-Mal's pretty cool as well. Top 7 for an Alt-Mal's pretty cool. Although 1 Suleiman feels super dumb. Is 4 draw 8 crit for this? It feels more correct than 12 crit. I'll listen to arguments for 8 draw 4 crit. I'll listen to arguments for that. Is there anything else? Baron? What's Baron do again? あなたの他のユニットがアタックしたとき、コンバトル中のユニット。When your other unit attacks, that gains 5k. The 5k unit was grade 3 or higher, countless and so gains a crit. Nah. Oh, this guy. No, but we already have counterblast spam. We already have counterblast spam in the form of the grade 1 Jewel Knight. It's fine. Totally fine. Found you finally, Stellar Cosmos? No worries. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Welcome, welcome. So this spams all the counterblast you need. Thank you for the follow, by the way. So this spams all the counterblast you need. So you don't need that grade 2 thing. It does gain huge, but this... Since you've got CB spam, cut Hope Song? No, because Hope Song is search. That's what's really cool. Like, you can Alt-Mal for Hope Song and Livero. Livero finds like Dire Connect, and then Hope Song finds the Violinist. Like that's literally +4 to board for the cost of 1. What's today's stream? We're building Clan Selection 2 decks in preparation for the decklist article that I'm working on later. One. Definitely need 2 of that. Or 3, 3, 3, 4. Yeah, Livero is just really reliable. -3 for 2 draw. Maybe? Maybe? Because you want to be going Force 1, right? Because you want to make your column... Because you want the Force 1 on the rear guard circle, so that the Ashley line actually hits 23 unboosted. So that you can then boost your massive grade 2 for big numbers. Like, I don't think Force 2 is correct. Because then Ashley will give a crit to whatever she calls out, and then the other thing will just have a base crit on its own. And he has to play a deck called Nicole's. What is that? Are we talking about something else? Instead of F2 you go first? Yeah, I could see it. So if you can Edith into F2, that's pretty solid. Then you just like... You can put F2 on the Ashley column. Ashley gives it a crit, F2 gives it a crit, Otmal gives it a crit, so you're swimming with a 4 crit rear guard, which is super lethal. Pretty solid. But then the crit is just so valuable so much of the time, though. I don't know. Mark, what trigger lineup are you running in your what were you running in standard Otmal? 8-4, as in 8 draw 4 crit? Or was it 8 crit 4 draw? No Kiel? Ah, yeah, that garbage. 8 crit, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This seems fine. Let's just move on. I don't want to spend the entire stream talking about Alt Mile. So JK Howard, because this is definitely not brave. It's the opposite of brave. It is a coward. Why is Nokiel garbage? I'm biased because I remember the time back in 2016 where Altmal decks would go to time every single round and just be a nightmare to play against. So it's personal bias. Let's go, Vaharan, with the resub. Thank you, my friend. 2 months. I appreciate you being here a lot. No kill? Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I said, right? Like, no kill garbage. Because it ruined G format. What's next? Battle Sister. Alright, here's another one that I have no idea what we're doing. In fact, you know, here's how we do this. Backdoor. We get there? Are we done? I think we're done. Close your eyes. Oh wait, I have too many of these. What is this thing? What the fuck is this? You can't write this. On play, あなた山上から1枚見て、normal unit とそういう。Okay, this is not good actually, never mind. Close your eyes and go was not the way to build this deck. I should probably specify Battle Sister, I guess. It dies if the top is 2 or 3. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Vanilla is pretty bad, I think. We already have enough grade 1s. Oh hell yeah, Battle Sister trigger. Hell yeah, Battle Sister triggers! That's what I'm talking about. What do you do? I remember you were good back in the old days. This looks at the top, like, this looks at top, right? Star 1, yeah. So this is not bad, I guess. More vanillas. Are we already playing that grade 1? Yeah, we are. Like, what does this do? When your Vanguard attack hits this... Okay, that's turbo shit. Do we have Taunt? We did not add Taunt. Let's add Taunt. Do you play CFA? I do not. Like, I don't like playing against people I don't know most of the time. Like, outside of a tournament, obviously. Like, I get that CFA is decent. Oh yeah, I'm missing triggers. Whoops! What are we missing? We are missing another crit and starter. Very important. Check Discord. Alright, let's see what you got. Amaterasu, interesting. I'm down. I'm down. Everything else, yep. Yep. Oh, you said... Wait, does this not look at the top of deck? Oh, hey, this is... Wait. Is this lookout or reveal? Mita. Yeah, no, this is lookout, so this is pretty good, right? What am I using right now? So this is the deck log, which is the official Bushiroad deck builder. For actual playing and testing, I usually use Tabletop Simulator, just because it's a bit nicer, it's a bit more controllable. And it doesn't crash every now and again, or it doesn't crash as often as TFA does. Let's see. So your recommendations were to add... Yeah. Is this not how you... Is it kanji or something? No? Huh? Oh, I was using... Right. Using katakana, not hiragana. Such... Yeah, okay. But why doesn't that... Wait, but why doesn't Ichi come up with this? Do I actually have to be specifically in katakana? I have to specifically be in katakana. Wow! Thanks, decklog. Anyway, yeah, Shoven Amaterasu, I get that. And then Ame Murakumo. So I guess, yeah, I can see cutting some of this. I'm okay with that. Taunt is super good. I don't want to cut Taunt. I'll cut one to Taunt. What does this thing do again? On play, Soul Blast 1, look at the top 5, grade 3, put on top. That's pretty good as well. 16 crit on no balls. Are you playing? Holy shit, your list is 16 crit broken. I'm down. No. It has to be 12 crit for heal because this heal is a battle sister. Therefore, you can call the heal onto rear guard, and it becomes a big booster. You keep the heal because it's a battle sister. What does this do again? On play from hand, can blast 1, look at the top 3, battle sister from there to hand. Call it. The rest on the rest back on top. Okay. When it attacks, if you look to the top card of the deck this turn, it gains 5k, and then Soul Blast a grade 3. Sentinel restrict, okay. What about anything else? No, mate, yeah, I mean, it varies, right? Like, if you had the choice between calling these a heal versus some other crit. In a pinch, man, you never know. I'm probably down to 3. Probably cut some more grade 2s, I think. I think if we cut 2 grade 2s, no, 3 grade 2s, this list is great. So 2 taunt is fine. Between these two, this enables, this is payoff. How much enabling have we? We have 1, 2. Does this look? Reveal, not look. Yes, this is look, this is reveal, right? Vanguard enables? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So you just cut like some enablers and 1 piece of payoff. So yeah, it's like this for the early game, this for later. Just to be like a huge beat stick with the Battle Sister grade 3. It's pretty good as well though. Like, I don't know, I just feel like this card is actually just straight up really good. Because it pumps by 10k, or it's a 13k booster. Like, being a 13k booster I think is super relevant, right? Hmm. Yeah, I'm not too sure here. Fuck the heal. But bro, it's a battle sister! Everyone's saying 16 crit, fine. Get bullied into playing 16 crit. Where's the other crit? Where's Psychic Bird? Where are you? It's your channel name? I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. How are we short a card all of a sudden? I cut one more grade 2 than I should have. No, I cut one of these. That was an accident. There we go. Right? No, I did. No, that is that. Meant to be like that. Yeah, 13 grade 1s. I guess we just bumped this up to 4. Because this is fine, but it's not super good. Like, this is just better almost all the time, I feel. Alright, cool. So, I'm gonna give you guys a boomer anime reference. Who gets it? Who understands the reference? Come on chat, don't let me down. Don't let me down, chat. Tell me someone else knows this. That's right, it's an anime about nuns with guns. Good anime, I recommend it. It's actually a pretty good anime. Like, it was one of the first ones I ever watched. I think, like, it was like my 3rd or 4th anime after Code Geass. Pretty good. I recommend it. Alright, what's next? Next up is Regalia. Oh boy, this one I have no idea what I'm doing. Zero idea what I'm doing. But, in fashion, we're just gonna max out all of the Regalia pieces. In fact, you know what? Wait, what is Regalian JP? I should... Hang on. How is it written? Jingi. Okay. Is that the wrong Jingi? Did I spell that wrong? Is it this one? Aha! Cool. Riggers. Does Regalia have 4 different crits as well? I don't think so, right? Oh, we do! We're winning! See, here it's fine to go 16 crit, because your Vanguard heals! Big brain! Alright, grade 1s. We actually need to play some... We need to play some grade 1s. Would you like another 16 crit list? I assume you sent one to me anyway. Yep, there it is. Very cool. What is this grade 1? Oh, this. What does this do? On play, top 2 cards of your deck. One to soul, other one on top. Okay. Great on these on the Vanguard attack. Yep, sometimes Vanguard gains 5k. Sure, I guess. I hate these ratios. What else is good? Skull is pretty good. Skull's not bad. Anything else? Hattie? This is Hattie. Yep, Skull's this guy. Yeah, we have 4 Skull. Cumin, not very good here. Astraea? Astraea? Question mark? See you going to sleep? No worries. Thanks for popping by. What else is there? What else is there? Do we just play Melissa for the BM? Let's fucking jam Melissa because we can? I want to tech in one Melissa. Just one BM copy of Melissa. That's what we got. What have we got in grade 2? Oh, right. Glepnir is pretty good. Glepnir is really fucking good. Do you have enough salt to pay for Melissa? Probably not. Probably not. You want to put out 5 for Vanguard? I mean, yeah, I guess. Glepnir is pretty good, yep. Don't think about it. I mean, yeah, I think like if you're playing this deck, you're already like... I think if you choose to build this deck, the concept of like actively trying to win the best way possible has already gone out the window, so... Yeah. Because Matt and Mo both play Genesis, and their name both begins with M. Tears of yeah. It's, I know that's like grammatically incorrect, but it does work. Alright. Cool. And then what's next? Next up is Dauntless. Okay. So I posted that meme deck that has 19 grade 3s. Well, let's build a real Kagero deck this time. DDD Waterfall? No. I think DDD Great is the way. I honestly think DDD Great is the way. What does this thing do again? Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Never built a deck without ammo. I think that's all the grade 1s sorted, right? It's too many grade 1s. Cut some ammo. Fire cannon's pretty good, but not good enough. What does this do again? Right, it's Doha Garen support, okay. Blade Master DED? Could do, yeah. The problem is that, like... there is actually a lot of ways to build this, isn't there? Could we go Blade Master DDD right now? Let me put in triggers first. Let me put in the rest of the triggers first. Gotta go early? No worries, Splashy. Thanks for popping by. Conroe. That's triggers, that's all the auxiliary pieces. Yeah, there's actually exactly enough slots for Doha Garen. Wow. Alright, let's do this first. So Blade Master first. Blade Master first. Insane. Wow, this deck's so easy. No, we need to cut some grade 1s to make room for what's her name. This really good grade 2. So ammo probably goes, sad to say. Ammo goes. Heat shot probably gets cut. 14, 11. Yeah, this looks a bit better. It seems fine, yep. So DDD BM. Let me just double check that. Heal, crit, draw, starter, critical pieces. Yep, alright. Man, this article's gonna be even longer when I write it, isn't it? Because then we have like what? Already there's like 2 different decks. 2 different clans with 2 decks. Don't need heat shot? Probably not, but I think it's fine. It's better than ammo, I think. Whoop, nope. Leave that there. And then duplicate. And copy. Making up clans that don't have decks? True. Very true. Alright, so then we cut the Blade Master package. And this guy. To then run the Great package. Where is that? Where is the Great? Oh, there it is. The Great. Neo Flame. Berserker? Which Berserker are you talking about? Clan has more than one Berserker? I mean, I have no, like, I literally don't know what card that is. That's my point. I don't know what you're talking about. Berserk Dragon? Oh, right. OG Berserk. Right. Yeah. That seems not bad. And then, yeah, shoving some ammo. Yeah. This seems alright as well. Deck builds itself. I love these deck names. Alright. And then Turnabout. Because I do think Turnabout is legit. The reason I don't want to focus on Turnabout, though, is because I have a feeling that's not going to come to English. So if I build a Turnabout deck list, it's probably going to go unused. That's the only concern I have. But anyway... probably still need ammo, still need heat shot. So then we want to add is it Turnabout or Turnabout? It's gonna be Turnabout. Nope. Is it in Japanese? You're gonna overload the, or is it? It's in English, isn't it? Haha! It's in English. I knew it'd be in English. And then we're looking for Endo. And then it's pretty good. Pretty good. Need more grade 3s? Are we really gonna build that meme deck? Are we really gonna do that? I guess we are. I guess Kagura gets to have 4 deck lists. Sure, Kagura gets to have 4 deck lists. Duplicate. Copy. 1, 2, 3, 4. What a disaster. So we cut the U. Cut ammos to add these. Oh, Oi, GG Mr. Rogers, raid of 7. How's everyone doing? Good evening, good evening. Hello everybody. How was your stream, JJ? What's the news, buddy? We need to cut a card. We need to cut a card. Cut a trigger. I'm down, bro. No, we're actually gonna cut. We're gonna cut the end because the cross search is for the end. Do you need grade 2 searcher? Yes. Yes, you do. Trust me. Because you have 10. Like, you need it because it's a grade 1 that you can ride. We are, however, going to do this in this version, and only in this version. What are we calling this one? DDD. DDD what? DDD as this. That's the best way I can describe this lineup. Just. Oh no, we got it. DDD disaster. Here we go. DDD disaster. Or no. We're going for an anime meme again. Filthy acts. No, it doesn't fit! Oh, it doesn't fit! No! No! Wait. No! One character! No! 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 It's so close! Fuck it. Filthy acts, reasonable price. There we go. There we go. It's all about compromise. It's all about compromise. God, I like looking at the I'm upset looking at this list so bad. Okay, it's Keta Sanctuary grade 3. Dude, yeah, Keta Sanctuary is just Dragonic Overlord in disguise. That's what it is. Now, do you know what this ratio is? Like, okay, if you don't look at the bottom half and you look at just the top half, this bit, this is a Glendios deck. This is just a straight up Glendios deck. Oh, we need a new deck now. Alright, we're done with Kagero. We're done with Kagero. 4 is more than enough. 4 is more than enough. Alright, let's move on to Hanzo, an actual interesting deck. Wait up. What are we missing? The others, right. Crits. Heal. Starter. Other Hanzo. This is almost done. Actually, I'm gonna cut this down to 3 to play 4 copies of the good grade 2. Where's the good grade 2? Come on, where's the good grade 2? There it is, the good grade 2. Is this it? I kind of want to play 6/6 on heal crit, actually. Right? You see that, right? Like, is anyone like upset by the fact that I want to play 6/6? Crow? I don't think you play Crow, actually. Like, from when I was playing it on stream the other day, Crow just feels super underwhelming. I don't know, like, Crow never won me the game. That's my complaint. Should you play against Hal for a change? Yeah, maybe. Wait, what do you mean for a change? I'm always playing against Hal. Can't win the game anyways. Sure, I guess we can find space for Crow. That's not the hard part. I'm gonna play crit. I'm gonna play 6/6. All right, where's Crow? Where are you, annoying god? 2 Crow and then 2 draws. Where's this duck thing? Yeah. Cut the ground token is too much. I don't think so. I actually think you need the token generator quite badly. Because this is not reliable. This eats up all your counterblast, and this is not like, you can't rely on this. Like, it's 2 tokens for 1, this is just 1 token. Like, I think this is way more valuable. There's also better shield value. It's also better for your riding ratios. 12, 11, 10 is so much more smooth. Mizukaze? Yeah, maybe. Maybe? The problem with Mizukaze is that you don't, you're not forcing calls with, like, Furai. So it becomes less of like a bang bang bang. It also means that usually your only grade 3s in Soul are your Hanzos. So if you Soul Blast either one of them and you don't have the other one to back you up, you're donezo. Like, you're literally donezo. Check Messenger. Alright. Yeah. 3 Crow feels excessive, though. 3 Crow feels excessive. Like, okay, this is maybe fine. Like, I just like having this guy as a backup. Because, like, remember, when I was playing on... I don't know if you guys were... Like, for those of you that were watching last week, when I was playing this deck, a lot of the times I couldn't make more than 2 tokens a turn, which is really sad. Like, he lets you... This guy lets you use Hanzo during your main phase. And that's sometimes really relevant. I think 2 Crow is fine. Wait, which one? What was your 3 of? Were you playing 3 Zangetsu? Yeah, 3 Zangetsu is correct. Or this guy did that. Yeah. Alright. Let's Crow once again. I think you can Crow. Can you Crow twice? No, there's too much Soul usage, especially for using this. And nothing else builds Soul. Because, like, your rerides are Soul neutral, that's the problem. So yeah, I don't think you can... I think 2 Crows enough anyway. Alright, so what are we gonna name this deck? What meme reference? Ah, I got it. This is a good reference. Don't like Kurogiri? No, I think Kurogiri is just like, it's such a good safety net to have. Alright, so who else other than Chris gets this reference? Come on. Come on, chat, I'm testing your meme knowledge here. Surely everyone? I'd hope so. I'd hope so. Alright, what's next? Hanzo is... are we actually gonna build this? Are we actually gonna build this? Are we actually doing this? Are we actually doing this? This one. Then... what else is there? Are we already on 17 triggers? We're already on 17. Already have him. This is garbage. This is the ethics list. After some testing, I may change on it became like this. Show a blah list. That's a good idea. I might do that. I might do that. What else do you play? What am I missing? I'm missing some grade 2, but I don't know what. What other grade 2 are we missing? Is this? Is it this? That's not it, I think. I think it's this. No? Wait. I think it might... I think it's this, right? Yes. What the greatest other than Leclerc? That's it. Okay, right, that's it, right. Cool Hank? Was Cool Hank the play? I'll believe it. No, it was what's his name? No. It was Where is it? Yes! This is it. This is the guy. And then bump to 1 to 3. This is the guy. This is the guy. This card. This is the one. There we go. Glands, Scarlet, this. Yep. Yep. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Wait, I already have what? Oh, Sentinel's Lamau. Where's the other crit? Where's the other crit? Damn, this draw trick is mad cute. Damn, look at this guy. Look at this good boy. Look at him, like, latching onto the back of someone's head there. Damn, this guy's great. Want to see the leftmost column? Yeah, let me shrink this again real quick so you can see the whole thing. Alright. Yeah, I think this deck list looks fine. I think this deck list looks great. I think this deck list looks great. This is a good Beast Deity deck. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with this deck list. I think this is how Beast Deity is meant to be played. I think this is great. I see no problems. All right, let me do this. Let me build one with ethics in it, because I have a joke, and that the joke will only work if I do it in this order. Let me just make this a bit bigger again. Alright. Let's actually put ethics in this time. Against my better judgment. This. What are we missing here? We're missing the elephant. What else are we missing? Glands? Scarlet Bird? Wait, let me look back at the reference to this one. Don't need a Damsky here because we're playing ethics. Hanks. Yep. Missing like... We're missing a... Oh, we're missing a crit. Yeah. Aha, let's not forget the crit, maybe. Where's that other crit? There you go. So we're missing 2 cards. So I guess you bumped this up to 4. And then... You know what, we'll just bump Scarlet Bird to 4. It's fine. 2 shout, no balls. 1 shout. I'll give you... No, okay, actually, no. Shout is a 4 or 0. No, shout is a 4 or 0. Shout, I'd love to, but shout is unfortunately 4 or 0. Anyway. So we're gonna call this one a Beast Deity. Cut ethics for shout. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna call this one Beast Deity. You bear with me, right? Wait for it. Wait for it. Just bear with me for a second. And then we're gonna call this one that doesn't have ethics, right? the cooler beast deity. And then we're gonna build a version that has 12 grade 3s and shout. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate off of this one. Yeah. Duplicate. Copy and modify. And then add this to 4. Trim this down to 2. Trim this down to 2. Trim this down to 1. Trim down to 3. Yep, and then we're gonna call this one. EJ's not saying hi to Hal. Wow, brutal. What's up, EJ? This one has 4 shout, right? So 12 grade 3s, 4 shout, everything else we need. And this one is the coolest beast deity. There we go. There it is. There it is. What happened to not building? What happened to not building an ethics list? And then somehow we have 3 fucking beast deity decks. Beast deity, the cooler beast deity. Man, you know what really upsets me? The fact that, like, because I don't have space to put, like, because there's not enough character limit to put spaces in, this reads like a fucking Battle Spirits card name. You see it, right? Like, I'm not the only one who thinks that, right? It's like, blah blah blah, the coolest beast deity, some Battle Spirits card. God damn it. Alright, what's next? Zeal. Zeal! Standard. Dimension Police. So, 12 Zeals. 3 Twin Order, because you never ever build a Dimension Police without deck without Twin Order. Draw PGs. Blood Blacks. I want to actually drop down to 3 Zeals here. Let me explain the reasoning once I build this list. Where's Liner? Where's Die Liner? Alright, let me sort out triggers as well, and then we'll go through we'll fill in the gaps. Look, I'll explain my reasoning. I will gladly back up my reasoning. I get that this is a +1 on rare, but my line of thinking is that when you're looking at the grade 3 line for DP, you want to be playing cards that are going to be on your Vanguard circle most of the time. So you have cards that, like, grade 3s that go first, which is Die Liner, and grade 3s that go second, being Blood Black and Zeal. And Zeal is great to ride going second, and you don't really want to ride him going first. It's fine because you get the plus. But the point is that you can Blood Black into Zeal anyway. So, like, I'm not looking at Zeal as the +1 on rare. I'm looking at him as, like, the next thing on the Vanguard circle. So you have to ride. Yeah, I see it. No, I get it. Like, I mean, I guess you just play 12 then. I'm just keeping in mind to play 3 just for space and everything everywhere else. Alright, anyway. Just play 12? Sure. Do any other plussing? I mean, I was gonna say Die Brave for the Inter Soul. I'm shoving 3 Die Braves, 3 Laurel. Laurel seems pretty good here. And then Platinum Ace doesn't feel it though. Laurel does too much. What do you mean? Isn't Laurel, like, really good here? Keep it already. I see. Yeah, I see it. I guess like this then. I still feel like you want to play Laurel in some shape or form though. Like, it's just randomly good, right? Like, on those, I'm thinking about it as, like, on those games where you go second and you're forced into riding Zeal. Protective Mask. That's the name it's called, yeah. I was thinking what the card was, and I just keep forgetting it's called. This guy, yeah. This guy's pretty good. What, okay, if we cut Laurel, what are the grade 1s there to play, though? Like, a lot of the other grade 1s just feel very mediocre. I don't think Grand, like... Do you need Grand Sale? Really? City Searchers? I don't... It just doesn't seem that good. It's Shield for Liner? Yeah, okay, sure. Sure. Zeal converts into a card? You know it's on play from hand, right? I mean, fine. Okay, sure. That's what you mean. Sure. Yeah, alright. I guess. Yeah. Sure. I guess that's fine. Uh, 444, 342. Then 2 Brave just feels so meh. It just feels so meh. There's gotta be a better grade 1 that plays the 2 up than Die Brave, surely. What does this garbage do? 7 grade 1, add to hand, shuffle. And a boost, give a crit. On play, rest this unit. Your Vanguard gains 10k. If your Vanguard is grade 3, it stands itself. Max Twin Order? Yeah, probably actually. And then we're just stuck at 1 off. What, like, random misery 1 card is there to play? Die Gyro? Which one's Die Gyro? This guy? On play, retire this unit. This turn, your Vanguard gains 5k power. Not bad. Scuba's top 7, right? Or is it top 5? I think it's top 7, isn't it? Yeah, top 7. But the problem is you don't want to play Scuba because you always want to be riding the Zeal grade 1. Like, I think if you, because you need to have the Zeal grade 1 for the Zeal grade 2 to work, which is really important. Platinum Ace? 12. Yeah, I guess Platinum Ace for ride consistency. I see that. It's Platinum Ace again. It's basically 15k Vanguard. When it attacks, if your Vanguard's grade 3 and 30k 1000 power, Soul Blast 1 gains 10k and crit. Yeah, it's alright. Wait, what does Die Dumper do again? Platinum Ace is fine, but I feel like Die Dumper might be decent. I don't know, I like Die Dumper more than Platinum Ace. That could just be me. What else is there? What is this guy? When your Vanguard attacks, if your opponent's 10 or more hand, which is never gonna happen. Rouge Bite Gaming, is that a refollow? I feel like you followed me before last time. I recognize that name. What is this Ultraman looking card again? Uncircle, nah, it's not very good actually. What is this? Cost Counter Blast? Never mind. I didn't think you can ever reach 35k for Die Dragon. Miracle Dandy is cool shield value, I guess. Right? Because like if you Zeal into Miracle Dandy, that's like, you know, that's literally basically a +2 because you get an attacker and shield. Seems decent. I don't know, like something about Platinum Ace, like Platinum Ace I just don't vibe with Platinum Ace. I don't know what it is. Miracle Dandy seems pretty good, right? Like, you just add black into Zeal into Dandy? Right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just shove in the Dandy. Dandy is fine. Alright, he says so, then we're going with it. Alright. Let's see. Now we need to come up with a good name for this deck list. There's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential, and we need to be very careful how we do this. It's gonna be something, it has to be like really subtle, yet really clever. I'm trying to think like. Wait. I'll come up with something. Let me think about it for another minute or two. I actually can't think of anything good here. I don't want to just default to a Godzilla meme. That's kind of boring. That's kind of like a cop-out. We can do better than that. We can definitely do better than that. Man, character limit is really annoying as well. There's got to be something better we can do here. Super Robot Tyson. It's still kind of not that great. Ultraman memes? We could go for some Ultraman memes. But I don't know Ultraman. Like, Ultraman's one of the few. Like, I've literally never touched Ultraman as a Toku series. I'm literally like a Kamen Rider only boy. Like, I didn't even know like Sentai. Like, I know the names of the Sentai series, but I've never watched any of the Sentai series, which is really problematic. I know. There's gotta be something else. There's gotta be something else. Silence Brand. That is pretty good, yeah. Silence Brand. Actually, I like that a lot more now. The more I read it, the more I like it, yeah. Shout out Necroflyer. Good idea, Necroflyer. I'll give you that one. I respect it. Alright. Man, my eyes are really itchy. My eyes are super itchy. Right, next up. Spike Brothers. So yeah, there was that like dumb like PG checklist I had with Safe Raid. I don't think that's not going to be the list I'm going to build here though. I think we should build like a normal, like a regular, like straightforward normal list. We're definitely playing 12 Dudley. That's happening for sure. Draw PGs, Rising, this thing. Things maybe to just try playing BJ and Premium LJ? Wait. I don't know what BJ is referring to here. Blast the Joker? No. No. Zero. No. I tried so hard to build Blast the Joker, like back during like mid-G, like literally just before Chaos got its support. Like, just before GBT05, like, before we got Chaos Universe, I tried so hard to make Blaster Joker playable, and it was garbage. Like, unbelievable garbage. Draw, heal, crit. I have one time where Blaster Joker was good and still lost. Nice. See, I did actually win a game with Blaster Joker. But, like, the deck wasn't good. Not even remotely. Oh, Mecha Trainer. Whoops. 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. I'm missing a few of them. I don't know what it is we're missing. I know we're missing something really obvious. Something really obvious is missing. I'm just not sure what. But let's bump these up to 4 because they're just good cards. What am I missing here? 12? 8? Yeah. Don't play Courtney. Don't play Birch Spree because we're not trying to combo here. Oh, we play 1 Bull Spike. No, yeah, 1 Bull Spike. Where's the Bull Spike? Play 1 Bull Spike just because you can. 2 Bull Spike? Really? I see it. Sometimes you want to double you can spice. Yeah, I guess if you don't have the full combo. What are the, missing 1 slot. What slot are we missing here? I don't think you want any more grade 2s. These are already really good. 2 Juggernaut Cyclone? I think Cyclone's better than Juggernaut. I get why Juggernaut's good. I just think Cyclone's better. 4, 4, 4. What else can we play at 2 to make this thing slot a bit more solidly? What's Ronaldo do again? One play from hand, counter blast 1, put a card from hand soul. Nah, Ronaldo's not it. What does this guy do? When he attacks, counter blast 1, just put all your force markers on him. When he hits, このユニットサークルのフォースマーカーにいるなら、相手に retire. Ooh, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. 3 Breach is normally the play? Really? I don't think Breach Spell is that good in Standard. It's amazing premium, but I don't know about in Standard, dude. It's like, the whole point about having like all these, like the strong grade 3 options is the deck thinning. You don't want to be shoving stuff back into the deck just to not do anything with, right? Yeah, like the wording on the card is good. I just don't think it fits or works in what the deck is trying to do. I don't know, we'll see. White Bounce is never a bad card. This is pretty bad. Vanilla's not bad. Where's Jelly Beans? Stuck in G. The problem is we only have 1 slot, and like both Breach Spur and Bracky want to be like multiples ofs. I guess we could stick on 8 grade 2 and just play the 1 Juggernaut? I see that, yeah. I guess the 1 Juggernaut is fine. I'm not super happy about it, but it looks clunky as hell, but I guess this works. 4 for 4 for 4, yeah. Well, I guess this is fine. Alright. Now we come with... This is hard. Eye Shield 22? Yeah, it's not bad. I feel we can do better though. Oh, what's the name of that? What's the name of that image where it's like Peyton Manning's face in like a black mask and he's like looking backwards? Like that image of Peyton Manning where he's like... What's that called? Let me look it up. Peyton Manning face meme. Oh, it's just called Manning face. Manning face? It's gotta be a better... Nah, Manning face isn't that good either. It's gotta be something better we can do. Oh, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Dark States waiting room. Because if you're playing this, you're basically just waiting for violence, Bruce, right? Dark States waiting room. Alright. Then next up is Pale Moon, and that was... I think we had a pretty good solution. I think I had a list I was pretty happy with. So, standard... Pale Moon. Alright, yeah, we got EJ here. He can tell, like... I'm just gonna build first, and then you tell me whether I'm doing it right or wrong. Start with... Actually, I can just do this, right? I should just have to do this? No? Is it like that? Yes. Okay. Two of her, 3 of this broken card. 2 of this, I remember correctly. 2 of this for resetting columns. This doesn't exist in English, I'm not going to put it in the list. What else was there? Should I look at SPTCG chord? I should look at that, shouldn't I? Wow! That's a pretty good meme, I'll give you that. Well done, Krishiv. Isn't it bringing pins in the CS2? No, it is not. Oh yeah, this thing is pretty good. Yeah, you're talking about Tosca, right? Tosca is not in clan selection 2. Very unfortunate. Let's put in some triggers. Let's put in some triggers. Hello, load, please. There we go. Is crit the play? Actually, front might be the... No, front's not the play. Crit is the play. Part of my brain was like, could crit be the play? I was like, no, crit's probably not the play. Marion, it's 2. Which one's Marion? I don't know them by name like you do, bro. You can play a bit a lot, yeah, but it's not a workhorse, so I'll get to it last. I know the one you're talking about, the Silverthorn Grey one. I'll put that in, I know that card, yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to figure out what's left. I guess 3 of that thing, right? Yeah, okay, let me just... What's it called? I can never remember now, I just know it's a Silverthorn. Huh? Oh, it's some dumb kanji, isn't it? Silverthorn. What is Silverthorn in JP? It's Shirba-son. It's probably like Gin or something, right? Oh, let me try that. Gin. Fucking silver. Alright, what are we missing here? It's not Silverthorn and Katakana, I promise you it's not. I don't know if crits are right. Crits don't feel right. It's like, it's Thorn of Silver, just in Japanese, whatever the word is. Edith, the grade 1 that has a yellow dress. Edith. I don't have Ediths, right. Ediths. Which one's Edith? Right, Edith. And fronts? Right, yeah. Okay, so I'll take the people that have actually played this deck extensively, I'll take their word for it. Man, these this 2-2 grade 1 lineup just feels so wrong, dude. The fronts. The other front. All these 2s just feel so wrong. Greg's username, thank you for the follow. 3 Bev? Which one's Bev? Oh, Beverly? Right. No, I think Beverly's fine at a 3 off. I get why you play. I get why 4 feels good, but 3 is definitely right. Yo, Crown Clown, 4 months. Welcome back, buddy. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for supporting. Previous power gainers. Do you have space for that? Everything else feels super important. Thoughts on the new start deck stuff before you fuck for fit? I think it's fine. They're better than the Gear Chronicle start deck. They're not as good as the Gurgit start deck. They're about on par with the Royal, the Blast Blade, Blast the Dart start decks. I think they're fine. They're decent. They're not great, but they're not bad. I think people are complaining about nothing. With Edith and Rhoda, should be fine with Aaron. See, here's the thing, right? This is already 50 cards. I really want to, I think you need the fourth Chelsea though. Do you need 3 Alice? Can you get away with 2 Alice? Alice just feels super good. I don't know if you can get away with 2 or 3 Alice. Because I don't know, trimming the ratio of these things already feels weird when it's already 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's 2 Alice. All right, everyone's saying 2 Alice is good. So 4, 2, dude. There's so many 2s and 4s. It's just 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2. Oh my lord. But I mean, the ratios look fine, and all the important stuff is at 4. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Where can I buy these CS2 singles? Why didn't you redeem the sellout and find out? Never please. This? No, I think this is pretty good for extending. When you go Carol into Chelsea, this is actually really useful. Creating such pieces, yeah, and this is fine, I think. Get them for free? That's not how it works here, buddy. But yeah, alright, well, Hal got it as well, alright. So, if you too would like to pick up Clan Selection 2 singles and build these decks for yourself in real life, you can do so at strictlybroken.tcg.ca using code SBTCGYellowcard for a discount at checkout. And starting from Clan Selection 1, which is coming out very soon, the SBTCGYellowcard code will now work for singles as well. Good news to SB Harlan's way? Broken. Give you a creative one? I don't have the energy to give you a creative one, but I'll give you a special one, which is starting from this week. Let me double check. Hang on, he sent me a message literally a few minutes ago. Yes, so the Clan Selection releasing on Friday. We have pre-orders going up on Thursday. So check on Thursday and get your pre-orders down for Clan Selection using code SBTGYellowcard for a discount at checkout. Buy select sellout, you sell and buy at McDonald's. That's not how sellout works. Sellout only chills for SBTCG. You missed that? Unfortunate, Krishiv, you'll have to wait a minute. I'll get around to it in a second. Let me just finish this first. We need to come up with a name for this deck list that doesn't involve Chucky. No Chucky memes, no Five Nights at Freddy's. Alice in Nightmare Land? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good, actually. See, I really want to make a Toho meme here. I really want to make a Toho meme, but no one will get it. Actually, wait, no, the fucking thing's called Alice. Yeah. Fuck it. Toho meme. Toho meme. Alright, so for those of you that aren't cultured and don't enjoy Toho, there's a character in Toho whose name is Alice, and she's a puppet master. She usually uses puppets to fight with. So that's, I'm like, this is the name of her, this is the name of the studio that makes Toho. Big brain. Go play Toho. It's actually a really good bullet hell game. It's hard, but once you get used to like the mechanic, like the movement and the grazing, it's actually really fun. Like, I'm a big fan of Toho gameplay. Alright, so that's done. Alright, what's left for CS2? I think we have like 3 or 4 more decks. 3 more decks. So yeah, we'll get to those in just a second. But first, let's give Krishiv his sellout. So, if for whatever reason you're bored of clan selection and you would like to pick up overdress start decks, you can do so at sbtcg.ca coming very soon, and they're priced at retail, which is 5 Canadian dollars, which when you convert it to either US dollars or British pounds is probably cheaper than retail. Not factoring in shipping, but if you're in NA, shipping is free. But yeah, you can buy your cheap, pretty well-designed overdress start decks at strictlybrokenTCG.ca. You want the belt? Alright, I'll pull out the belt in a second. Let's finish building these decks. The next is Bermuda. Bermuda. So 4 of this thing. 4 of this thing. 4 of these things. 4 of that thing. 4 of this thing. I have PGs already? I do. Where's starter? Starter's pretty good. And then crits. And heals. What are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing that grade 1 that filters your deck. Where is that? Grade 1 that filters your deck. This is a pretty good, Ellie's a really good card, and then the grade 2 that rerides. Where is she? Where is she? There you are, this thing. It's actually between this and the Leads a Lot. I don't know what the one-off should be. I'm going to play Leads a Lot. Yeah, I mean, like, I actually think this card is super underrated. This card is actually pretty solid. Like, it's basically just a cantrip, which is really valuable, but I guess the Leads a Lot is just more generically useful. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Pretty standard. What's this for? So, I don't know if you saw it, Franz, but like, when Clan Selection 1 came out, I wrote like this big this blog article that had deck lists for every clan in Clan Selection 1, saying like, here's like sample standard deck lists for you to take off of. Because I already built a bunch of premium deck lists for Solom for his article, so I decided to do just the same thing for standard, just because, you know, like, that article was really well received, and I figured it might be useful to have something similar. Nice. Chris has linked it for you 4 times in a row. Enjoy. It's a good read. Actually, I think I want to play more Lieselots. Actually, I want to play 3 Lieselots. Yeah, 3's enough. 3's enough. I don't want to go to 1 of this. 2-3 is fine. 2-3 is fine. Alright, what's a good name for Prism? Actually, I'm just gonna call it Prism. I actually really like Prism. Not enough to rebuild this deck in V series, but I do still like Prism. Alright, what's next? Next up is Valios. Oh boy. Oh boy. God, this deck sucks. Alright. Standard. Aqua Force. Can we just not? I would also like to just not, but, you know, needs must. I don't remember if we played. I don't remember if Bragios was the play. I actually do not remember. I think I already have Gallias in here? Yeah, Gallias is already in here. Where is that? God. Where are you? Where is this piece of garbage I'm looking for? There's a very specific piece of garbage I'm looking for. Where is it? Where is it? There's that piece of garbage I'm looking for. What are we missing? Okay, so max out Bragios. What are we missing this? What are we missing here? What am I missing here? Let me look up my tabletop list. What did I build for tabletop? TTS decks. Aquaforce. Triggers, Bragios, grade 1. Titles, that was it. Tidal Assault. Aha, yes. Titles. Where's Tidal Assault? 3 Tidal Assault. 4, 2, 3. Yep, cool. In fact, you know what? We're gonna use monospace. Where's my monospace? Full width alphanumeric. There we go. There's your deck name. Are you happy? All of you guys complaining, begging for this? You got what you wanted. Alright. Should we just call wet garbage? I mean, people don't want the truth. People want to feel happy. They don't want the truth. Last but not least is the actual best deck in clan selection. Alright, let's go. Speedrun tactics, let's go, speedrun. Come on, speedrun. Where's the nice looking heal? Give me the nice looking heal. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? Nice heal. Alright, what are we missing? We're missing some grade 2 in some shape or form. No, we're missing Hamdon. Where the fuck's Hamdon? And now we're missing a grade 2. Come on. Where is he? You're a Hamskay, right? Hamskay, yep, cool. Done. Alright, time. Any percent. Time. Well, no, we're missing triggers. Never mind, I lied. We're missing triggers. Never mind, I was wrong. I'm missing another crit, right? Yep, I'm missing a crit. Scuffed run, yeah. It was Scuffed run. Reset. You know what? Hang on, let me wait. We can do I can actually do this. Wait. Are we actually speedrunning this? I guess we're actually speedrunning this. Under a minute all gift? Oh shit, pressure's on. Pressure is on. Alright, let me set up. Okay, so I'm gonna click start, and then I'll hit stop once I get... So once I click on this button to get to the deck preview screen, that's when we'll stop. So start, build, preview, stop, alright? Come on, load faster, where's hand on? What am I missing? What am I missing? Grade 3 Searcher. What else am I missing? Fuck, what else am I missing? Oh my god, no, come on, what am I missing? Whoa! Oh! 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 Holy shit, I can't believe that happened. There we go. Hamskate any percent speedrun. Oh my lord. Oh man, that actually got my heart racing. Like, I actually like feel like warmth going through my body. Oh, my arm as well. That was... See, that, kids, is what you call esports. Who needs a ring fit when you have Hamskate 80%? Dude, you know it. Alright, come on, what's the... Come on, what? Think of a name for this now. Let's think of a name for this deck. I think what's the name of that fucking... What's the name of that song? Yo, Kiash actually coming in with the sub! Thank you very much. I'm glad my speedrun skills were worthy of the sub. I appreciate you coming along. Thank you for committing. Much appreciated. Something's like, I know, yeah, like... Oh, let me ask Tony. Tony, what's the name of... Is he even around? No, he's offline at the moment. Shit. God damn it, Tony. Hamtaro memes. Hamtaro rave, yeah. Like, you guys know the eventual, right? Like the crowd of like weebs raving to Hamtaro. Holy shit! 5 gifts? Yo, Kiash, you need to calm down, bro. Thank you so much. So Shy3K, Hayden, Mark, Slayer, and Pyrojack, you guys got hit up with the gift subs. Kiash bending over, saying get on my back, I'll carry you guys. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much. There you go. This is also me realizing that Mark was not subbed in the first place. I was betrayed by the bro. Dude, Mark, Hayden, you guys finally get the fucking the strength. The strength. Alright, let me pause this music. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna play it on stream. Fuck it, we're gonna play it on stream. This is just like, dude. Look at these guys. Look at this. Dude, I want to be part of this so bad. Oh yeah, Hayden also paying it forward, gifting it on. Is that the real KQC? No way that's the real KQC, right? If it is, Lamau, I hope he doesn't watch my content. Anti-standard players during overdress announcement. Another one? Alright, let's watch this one as well. What's the other one? Let's turn this up, let's crank this. Dude, imagine being the guy in the middle. I would shit myself. God, it's so good. Alright, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Shit, I need to reopen that tab actually. What's it called? That's not the name of the song, is it? No, it's still uncalled. Hamtaro Dotoko Uta. Sure. Yeah, that'll do. Right, just search is Hamtaro Wataku. No, I think this is the name of the actual song, right? Like, if I search this... Yeah, it comes up with the actual thing, so it's Totoko Hamtaro. It's fine. We'll name it the song. That's what we got. Alright. Sorted. Best deck. Oh, hang on, I built it wrong. I'm so dumb. I built it wrong. We don't play crits, you play fronts. My brain wasn't working. I was too focused on the speedrun. It's fine. We were going for Hamskate any percent. And if you're playing fronts, it's not 100%. That's how it works. It's any percent. This is how you speedrun properly. Any percent. Could even have just been 16 crit. Alright. So we have 2 Royal Paladin decks. Battle Assist, so hang on. How many 16 crit decks have we got here? Because there's more than one, which is upsetting. So that's 1, 2, 3. I think it's just 3. Yeah. 3 16 crit decks. I think if that doesn't speak volumes for how sad Clan Selection 2 is, the fact that you have to play 16 crit to even have a chance of getting there, I think that says a lot. Like, that says a lot. This isn't my world. It is not Forza. It is not Forza. Right, oh, Kamen Rider Forza. Your username just reminded me. IOEJ, one of these. Where is it? Where did I put it? Oh shit, Tony, there you are. Where were you 5 minutes ago? Okay, Tony, now that you're here, this is the name of the song, right? This is how that's the name of the song, right? Like, this is correct? Is that right? Oh, someone else as well? Jack's Knife? Alright, fine. Since we got 2 redeems in a row, here's how we'll do it. Here's how we do it. So, the one that EJ redeemed, I'll give you these. And then for the one that Jack's Knife redeemed, I'll throw in this. All the works as well. Let me grab my actual... Also, yes, I played the video on stream, just to show everyone what the meme was. It's Totoko. So, okay, put it now, sure. I mean, people will understand from this, right? It was just swapped, the words are just swapped down. People will understand, it's fine. Anyway. Actually, hang on. Can we? Okay, no, that's the actual... I want just the BGM. Where's the BGM? Come on. This'll do. Give me like 5 minutes to redo this. Oh, I don't remember my settings. Give me more than 5 minutes. Give me like 7.5 minutes while I copy them from OBS. Give me a few minutes. I did this in the dumbest way possible, where I literally just deleted my audio filters. Alright, there we go. We should all be good again. Just in time to sell out? You're right, Jack's Knife. So, once again, reusing someone before, if you too would like to play Duel Knights, or Battle Sisters, or Regalia, or any of these nightmarish, disgusting abominations of Dauntless, or Hanzo, or Beast Deity, or Zeal, or Dudley, or Nightmare Dolls, or Prism, or Valios, God forbid, or Hamsters, you can do so at strictlybroken.tcu.ca using code SBTCYellowcard for a discount at checkout, now applying to singles as well as pre-orders. All right. So that's done. Let's. Oh, it's finally a bit relaxing. And show off something I bought today. Or rather, I bought it like 2 days ago and it arrived today. I have rekindled a passion for a card game. So I bought a deck. I bought a deck from someone on a Facebook group online. White Schwartz? No, I've yet to lose my passion for White Schwartz. Don't worry about that. Like I said, I'm playing in the first round of Top Cut of the White Schwartz UK Open tomorrow. You'll find more details about that later going on. Pokemon? It's unfortunately not Pokemon. I wish I found Cosmo Dragon. I wish I found Cosmo Dragoons. There's not Wicross. This, kids, is Magic the Gathering. I'm back to playing Modern after a long time. It's not Commander, it's Modern. Modern. Magic the Gathering. So, I see that Pakamovo recognizes Storm, yes? But it's not any Storm. It's not just any Storm. Wait for it. Worse than Uro? I haven't shown you this yet though. Are you ready for this? Wait for it. Yes! Full foil Storm. It's actually not full foil. I'm missing one card in the sideboard. But yeah, this is... God, I love this deck. Because it is the epitome of, I get to play Magic and you don't. Because you do nothing, and then on turn 4, your opponent's forced to watch you play Magic on your own for 20 minutes. How many roasted pork? Actually, this deck is actually fairly cheap. So I bought the core of a guy for 100, 200, and then I spent about another 60 on like the remaining pieces, so 260 total. Which for what's in here is a fucking steal. Like these are a lot. Like Gifts Ungivens are a lot in foil. Steam Vents, these are a lot in foil. And the big one is Spire Bluff Canals. Whew. Got most DGen Water on the back. I'm glad you noticed. You gotta respect Chio. Catch the Storm? No, I have. So I already owned a playset of foil Scalding Tarns from like ages ago. Like I've owned a playset of foil Scalding Tarns since 2016, 2015. I've owned the playset of foil Scalding Tarns for a long time, so I didn't need to buy those recently. Being toxic in Magic? Hell yeah. Only missing a Graph? What's Graph? Is Graph a Buddy Fight card? I don't know Buddy Fight cards by name, you have to remember that. Dark World? Oh, right, the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, yeah. Wait, you got a case, like you bought a frame already? Or do you mean you just set up the cards? If you bought a frame already, let me know which one you got. Better be winning or no point being toxic. I'll try, man, but you know, with lockdown, UK lockdown is extended until June. It's gonna be no events in there for a while. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna next be able to play physical Magic, like with another person in real life. But if nothing else, this deck can be used to goldfish perfectly. Like you can definitely just play that. Like this is the perfect deck for playing by yourself. Honestly, you know, you just sit there and be like, can I win on turn 4? And then you go through the actions. That's what I love about it. But yeah. Alright, so do we want to talk about the reveals from this morning? Playing with myself stream? TOS, buddy, TOS. Alright, so let's talk about the reveals from today, right? I mean, I already tweeted everything. I think I've already tweeted everything that needs to be said, which is, yeah, calm down. They're bad, but they're not that bad. They're good, but they're not that good. People overreact for both sides. Exactly. Like, they're surprisingly good products. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't think they're surprisingly good. I think they're just good. Like, they're okay. Like, they're what I expected out of trial decks. Like, Keta Sanctuary Bastion is a little bit worse. Like it's slightly worse, but it's fine. Like, there's no major problems. The grade 3s are VR level? I don't think so. Early VR, yeah, sure, early VR, but that's the point, right? We've reached the point now where we're expecting slightly more out of cards nowadays, and we haven't gotten that, so I don't know. I get what you mean, but I think early VR isn't like, that's not a good metric to go by. Like, I think the way you should judge trial deck cards is how likely am I to replace this? Because think about it, right? Maron is still being played in MLB to this day. Vanilla, Dragonic Overlord, like, it took until the cross for that to get replaced. Like, you know, people were playing TD Overlord with the end up until, you know, the end was replaced. Aquaforce, what's his name? The grade 2 face card for Aquaforce TD, that got support, like, going into Glorious Justice. Like, you know, people were playing that. People were playing, what's his name? People were playing the Algos, yeah, that's it. People were playing Algos in Glory Maelstrom. Maron's VTO, you're right, Maron's VTO. I'm talking about, what's... Alan, like, people playing Alan, like, Alan and Maron are basically the same card, almost. Right? Like, Blast Blade's a TD card, that's fucking insane. Blast the Dark TD card is insane. Still sees play everywhere because of Superior Ride. Like, you see what I mean? It's, you know, throughout the entirety of V series, we had cards in TDs that were very, very playable. And the last time we had that, you know, like, when was the last time you had, like, a strictly, like, really good G TD playable card? It was like, what? History Maker, right? Or, like, Messiah. Or, like, you know, ZTB with the triggers on, like... And even then, like, I'm pretty sure the ZTB TD was almost entirely replaced by the time GPT 14 came around. Nairo CD, yeah, Nairo CD was really good. Like... But that's what I mean, right? Compared to old TDs, like, you know... Even looking at Legion TDs, where the good cards were one-offs, you had, like, Aglavale, you had Infinite Zero, like, so many... Like, in V-Series, so few... What's the words? Like, so few cards in the V-Series TDs continued to see play beyond triggers. Like, you know, it was only, like, one card per TD moving forward. And even then, like... What was the most recent TD in V-Series? Was it Messiah? Was it Messiah? No way. Messiah wasn't a TD. Tri-3, right. How many cards from the Tri-3 TDs actively still play? Just the boss units, right? So I think, yeah, people are definitely like... Let me move my camera a bit. This is... I'm not centered properly. There you go. Right, Usher, like, the boss units in the grade 2s, that's kind of it. Yeah, so Livero is the exception. Livero is really good. Is the grade 2 from Usher played in standard? I don't think so, right? Padmini's a triple R in the set, isn't it? Or is Padmini in the TD? Anyway, but my point is, right, like, it's undeniable that V-Series TDs had way less, what's the word, like, longevity, like, you know, rather than taking the TD and adding stuff to it, you took cards from the TD and added them to the booster stuff. Padmini's booster, oh, not Padmini, Anelma. Was Anelma booster or TD? The grade 2. Anelma, right? Is that the name? The one with, like, the side tail? I don't remember Neo Nectar card names. Come on, give me a break. Who do you think I am? And that was Enelma booster? Enelma was booster, right? Not TD? Like, if it was booster, that just backs up my point, right? About how VTDs had way less, like, reusable cards. Yeah, double R, right. So that's my point. Like, well, I want to be in a position where, like, look at Wicross, right? Like, let me grab, where's my Wicross? Where did I put that? Right. So here's Wicross. Stroke clip. Yeah, stroke clip tech, it's decent. It's not super great. So here's Wicross. Now featuring booster pack cards, because I finally ordered my singles from Japan. I'm playing what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 4 is what? 20? Half of this deck is still TD pieces. Like, you know, like with Wicross, right? I literally bought a TD and instead of taking cards from the TD and putting them into the booster deck, I took cards from the booster and put them into the TD deck. And not even that, the cards I'm playing from the TD in this are 4 ofs. Like, this is a 4 of. This from the booster is a 3 of. This from the TD is a 4 of. This from the booster is a 3 of. You know, guards come in the TD only. Yeah, I mean, guards are basically triggers, so I'm going to discount guards. This is a 2 off from the TD. Where's the other one? This is from the TD. Like, the point is that, you know, the TD has way more value compared to, like, before, which is what's what's important. So, like, I don't mind, you know, like, replacing most of the TD. That's fine. Like, you need to replace most of the TD because that encourages people to buy products, which is, you know, totally fair. Like, you want to make sales. But people shouldn't, like, you should incentivize people to you shouldn't just incentivize people to buy the TD. You should incentivize people to use the TD so that, you know, their start deck cards actually have value rather than just being pick up, learn the rules, throw away. And, like, yeah, the argument is that in the end, the TDs are only like $4 cheap. They cost nothing. Even if you buy it, keep the triggers and throw everything else away, there's still value. I totally agree. But the point is, I think there should be, you know, like, the TD should provide as much value as cards in the booster pack. That's what I honestly believe. And I know that's going to be really, really hard to get there. But that, you know, that's kind of like an ideal world, right? And yeah, like, so Christian brings up a good point. They specified in the product information for the booster that every nation will have 2 decks buildable from it. So you assume one of them is going to be an upgraded TD, and the other one is going to be a brand new archetype, which is totally cool as well. But what I'm saying is, right, the fact that one of these 2 builds is probably going to be an upgraded TD should mean that that's reason to buy the TD, and that's reason to keep the TD. Like, you know, that $4 investment combined with, like, say, $50 worth of singles from the booster should get you on a level of playing decently. Like, that's how you keep people into the game. Like, there's a reason that VBT1 was so easy to get people into the game, because VRs were dirt cheap. Like, with the exception of Imperial Daughter, VRs were cheap. Like, you know, Alfreds were like 10, Waterfalls were like 15, you know, Imperial Daughter was still 25, which is quite a bit. But, you know, all the triple Rs and double Rs were super cheap. Like Berserks were 6, Irmos were 8. What was the name of the double R in OTT? Like, Circles were like 6 or 7. Like, you know, buying a clan split, a case split for a clan of BBTO 1 was like 110 pounds tops. And that's cheaper than that's cheaper than most late V-Series clan splits. So, like, buying a deck back then was super cheap and super easy. And so it was really, really easy for people to, like, just get into playing. And then, you know, as they added more and more cards, and as you needed to get more and more old stuff, it became harder to just jump straight into Vanguard and jump straight into playing Standard, because, you know, cards supply meant that, limited supply meant that prices eventually went up over time. So the point is that, you know, when you make everything easy to get and you make everything a worthwhile purchase, people become more incentivized to keep buying. Like, you know, someone's like, oh damn, I bought like this Stoicheia deck for $4 for the TD, and I upgraded it for $50, like with BTO 1. When BTO 2 rolls around, they'll be like, man, that was so good value, and sure, you know, I don't mind spending another $50 to get a few cards from this set to update that as well, rather than forcing people to rebuild entire decks every single set like they did with V-Series. That's the important takeaway here. Like, when a set comes out for V-Series, it was almost always every single new card and then one or two old cards. And what we really need to see going forward is mostly old cards and then one or two new cards every set, but then the one or two new cards can support different decks, and that variety is what you need to keep people investing, because then it's worth it for people to get different, like, to split the product. Because if one guy wants everything, you're going to have a hard time selling product to 3 people. You're going to sell enough product to one person and then not quite enough product to 2 other people, and that's just not as good, like, obviously. Worried that we're seeing super staple triple Rs? Yeah? I honestly think no. We have what? 10 triple Rs, so 2 per nation? Given that now. So it's like 10 triple R, so 2 triple Rs and 2 double Rs per nation. I think one of them is definitely going to be a new boss unit. So one will be a new boss unit for the new style of deck. It's like how they balanced double Rs and triple Rs in like late V-Series, right? Because when we had like triple R builds like Blau, 7Cs, and all this stuff, it became much more valuable. So yeah. So in DBTO 1, I'm expecting the 2 triple Rs. One goes to the new deck and one goes to the TD. Same with double Rs. Or even, you know, double Rs could be one goes to the new deck only, and the other one is like grade 0 PG or something, like draw PGs if they introduce those. And if they don't, then it's just another, like, it's some other grade 1, grade 2 for the trial deck. And I think that's fine. Like, I don't think there's a problem with that. Because then rather than everyone needing to buy, like, okay, like, VBT 12, right? It didn't matter if you want to play Victors or Blau. Like, if you want to play all Novas, like I did, then yeah, you just buy all of Nova Grapple, that's fine. But if you only wanted to build one specific, like, deck from Nova Grappler, you still had to buy 4 Cool Hank no matter what. Like, you know, you still had to buy 4 Arashid no matter what. And I imagine that they probably won't be doing that. I hope that they won't do that for DBTO 1. Like, you know, you'd expect that the 4 high rarity cards in DBTO 1 are very evenly split. Passing with Bushido. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah, like, I can see that happening as well later down the line. Like, you know, DBTO 4 introduces a grade 1 triple R that just draws 1 on play for both Stoicheia decks, right? Or something along those lines, or, you know, like, grade 1 on play gives something power, something like that. That would be useful. But I think it's fine to do later on, because by that point, the decks have already been established, the player base has already been established, and it's a lot more like, you introduce the idea of, like, people competing over cards, like, you know, like, if player A and player B both want to buy this playset of a card, but the seller only has one playset, like, you can, you know, like, I'm not going to go into the economics talk, but I think the impact of it by that point will be far less pronounced than if it was in set 1, where everybody needed 4 Waterfalls, everybody needed 4 Imperial Daughter. So I think it's definitely fine. Like, it should definitely be fine. The only thing to be worried about, the only thing to be really, really worried about, is if the balance is if the support is imbalanced. Like, for example, the booster set comes out, and, you know, Dragon Empire gets 2 triple Rs, and both triple Rs are for the non-TD build. And so the TD only has to add the 1 double R deck. In which case, people playing, like, the booster build rather than the TD build of Dragon Empire need to invest way more to build their deck. But then, the flip argument is that that's fine, because if you're playing the TD and you only need the double R and you don't need triple Rs to play the TD, just play the fucking TD deck. It's gonna be so cheap. Like, the double R is gonna be what? $4 max? So $12 plus the $4 start deck? Away you go, right? So, even though that's the worst case scenario, it comes with an upside. I think it's fine. I assume, yeah, like, I would also assume it's going to be 1 triple R per build. But like you say, right? Like if the TD cards are actually this good, you could imagine that not much needs to be added. Like, you know, 2 or 3 cards max. So yeah, I think it's here and there. I think it's here and there. But in general, I think almost everything seen so far in D series, I think is positive. The only thing I'm not happy with is low shield value. I don't mind 10k triggers. I'm just bothered with low shield value. I think if we had kept like 10k shields and 20k shield triggers, I would have almost no problems. So like, the more I think about overtrigger, the more I'm okay with it. I get that overtriggers feel super scummy and super luck based, and I think if you're already like disliking Vanguard, then then it looks even worse. But I think if you really want to have a lot of faith and you think like, no, D series is really, really great, and like, if you like gaslight yourself to thinking that D series is perfect, then I think you can live with the fly in your ointment of overtriggers. So I think that's fine. Yeah, like, there are arguments that, sometimes it's not going to matter. I don't know, like, it's fine. I think it's fine. Effect triggers? Do we... See, this is a discussion I hate. Do we know for a fact yet that it's effect triggers? Or, like... Or rather, are we 100% sure that it's not just reminder text yet? Until we're 100% sure, I'm not going to comment on it. People say... Yeah, like... I don't want to... I'm not gonna speculate. I don't want to speculate. The only speculation I'll do is me saying it could be bad if this happens, or it could be good if that happens. But like, at this point in time, we have no idea about... We don't know about triggers. So if we don't know, I'm not going to say anything because it's not worth it. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, like set your expectations low. Like, expect it to be reminder text. That way, if it is reminder text and it's actual effect text, you can be like, oh wow, like, it's better than I expected. And then if it is reminder text, you haven't raised your hopes for no reason. So I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. Like, either way. And here's the thing to remember, right? There's no massive burning reason for there to be effect triggers from set 1. Like, I get that it would be really cool. I get it would be good for the game. I agree it would be good for players. It would introduce, like, it would make the game better to play. I totally agree. Like, if I had the choice, I would also put effect triggers in. But my point is that there's no we have to have effect triggers. So that's why you should treat it as, if we get them, it's a bonus. Like, you should expect vanilla triggers, because we've had to live with vanilla triggers for so long now. I think people should be used to that, right? Like, people shouldn't be going like, man, where are all effect triggers gone? Because most of the people coming from V to D will have not really experienced effect triggers before outside of premium collections. Like, you have to, like, I know we had them from set 1, but in set 1, they were pretty rare, and they weren't exactly amazing. Like, they were decent. Like, some of them were really good, but some were quite bad. Like, the power level fluctuated. It wasn't until, like, late G that we had really good 16 really good effect triggers for every deck. That's what I mean. Like, there's no, like, effect triggers aren't baked into the game design, is my point. So that, like, that's what I mean when I say that you should treat effect triggers as like a stretch goal, not like, I need the effect trigger. Like, it should be like, wow, we finally got effect triggers, very cool. Also, I'm wrong. No, V players are used to effect triggers because they used to draw PGs. Haha, that's a difference, yes. So Sentinel triggers aside, like, Sentinel triggers aside, there's no, like, effect triggers aren't a monolith of Vanguard. They're very, very good, and they should definitely be created, but they're not a monolith, so please calm down. YouTube content? Maybe. I'm personally not a fan of just, like, these freeform discussion videos like this. Like, I wouldn't want to cut this and upload it to YouTube. Like, you know, if you look at like what few videos I've uploaded in the past month and a half, they've all been like much more produced and much more quantified. Like, do you know what I really want to make again? I really want to make another documentary. Like, I think that Dark Irregulars documentary video was one of the best videos I've made ever. And I don't think any video I've made since then has come even close to that video's level of quality. So the problem is that finding good topics like that is really hard. That's what I mean. Like, I really want to. I'm not saying that your content is bad. I'm just saying it's not what I want to make. Like, I really want to make like these proper productions, and it's finding other similar topics is very hard. When are we gonna watch some Battlefront? Never, because I'm dog shit at that game. I am awful at that game. Been waiting till we see everything in TDs before we make overDress videos. Smart, yeah, like that's what I'm trying to do as well. Like, I'm going to let the other content creators who are way better at making news than I am to make the news. And then once we have, like, once all the cards are laid out on the table and we can finally start applying like theory and like, you know, theory craft and like game knowledge and being like, here's how we do things. Like, you know, like we're still figuring out the puzzle. Once we figure out the puzzle, that's when I shine. Like, solving the puzzle is my specialty. Explaining the puzzle is not my specialty. Like, I can't tell you how to build a Lego set. Like, if I had the book in front of me and you had the pieces, it would be very hard for me to tell you how to build that Lego set. But if I had the Lego set without the instruction booklet, I could build the Lego set. So that I'm going to wait until that's what I'm good at doing to then do what I'm good at doing. If I'll say something in the next piece of news makes you look... Yeah. That's also like a small consideration I have as well, but I'm much less worried about being wrong. You just delete the video. Could you talk about the evolution of deck building throughout VG? I feel it changed lots in GT and Premium now. Yeah, okay, it's a pretty good topic. I don't want to spend too long on this, but... So, the thing about deck building, and... I don't remember when he talked about this, but Solemn actually made a really good video. So this is when he... This was back when he topped... What event was it? It was like... I don't remember when it was, but Solemn basically won a BCS with like some really weird turbo NLK deck. And he was talking about like his deck building process and like, you know, starting from scratch, because Vanguard players have become conditioned to needing 4 heals, 4 PGs, X, Y, Z, etc, etc. And I actually saw I also saw a tweet from a friend of mine in Japan. Friend's not the right word. I saw a tweet from an acquaintance of mine in Japan, and it said something along the lines of, all the decks nowadays have been built with copy and paste. And, you know, it's... The thing about deck building theory is that it also leads very close to the gameplay theory, right? Where you can't build a deck unless you know what the deck needs to do. And a lot of the times, people like playing V-Series, a lot of the time don't really know what they're doing. Like, you know, they know how to put their cards on the table, they know how to use their effects, they know how to gain a crit, gain a drive, gain 10k, and kill the opponent. But they don't know how to do things like play around this, play around that. They don't know how to dig themselves out of a bad situation. They don't know how to think, you know, when they're, like, for example, let me give you an example. MLB, right? MLB is playing the game, and it can't find Blaster Dark for whatever reason. Like, it doesn't have Order, it doesn't have Blaster Blade, it doesn't have, it has Blaster Blade but no MLB, it doesn't have Livero. So MLB reaches grade 3 and it can't find Blaster Dark. So now MLB can't play the game because it can't, you know, gain crit and drive. So, like, in my opinion, an average level player will be like, oh, I don't have Blaster Dark, I guess my deck doesn't work. Whereas to me, like, a higher level player will be like, okay, I currently don't have, like, they'll think from the turn before, I'm not going to have Blaster Dark next turn. What can I do moving forward to make sure that I'm going to have Blaster Dark next turn? What do I do if let's say that I get unlucky and I don't top deck Blaster Dark. What can I do instead? Or, you know, what can I set for Blaster Dark the turn after? Like, you know, they don't just stop at one decision. They use that decision to make the next decision, and then the next decision, and then the next decision. And okay, here's the thing, Christian. Like, I'm not going to read your entire paragraph, but I absolutely disagree that you need to know the meta. You do not need to know the meta to build a deck at all. Like, you need to know the meta to optimize and refine a deck, but to know that, like, you know, this is a 4 of, this is a 3 of, just based on your own game plan, is way easier than that. Way easier. Like, it comes... You know, it's why I make the Yellow Card Cram School series about, like, you know, floor, ceiling, hitting numbers, game plan, play to your outs, all these things, is because that is what... Like, everything I talk about in a Cram School video is that second, that third, that fourth level decision-making process that you don't normally get. Yeah, Tony even made, like... How long was that video made, Tony? 3 years? 4 years ago now? We made that video? You made that video? 3 years, yeah. Like, fucking link... Dude, link it. Because, yeah, it is still relevant. Like, it's 3 years old and still relevant. You know, it's this... If this doesn't happen, what do I do? If this does happen, what do I do? Like, you know... If you play a card that's only there to stop you losing the game, what do you do when you're winning the game? It's a garbage draw, stuff like that. And, you know... Like, the important thing about deck building is you need to be able to ask yourself these questions, because if you don't know why you're playing a card and you can't justify it deeply, you shouldn't be playing that card. Because when it gets to in-game and you're playing against someone and you draw that card, you're going to look at that card and it's not going to be immediately obvious what your next move is. Like, you know, you could be like, oh, I play this rearguard because it gains a crit, or I play that rearguard because it retires my opponent's rearguards. But then, why do you want to gain a crit? Why do you want to retire your opponent's rearguards? Like, where does that sit within your strategy, within your game plan? And it's that, you know, it's this... It's not narrowing your line of thinking, but it's taking one line of thinking and expanding on it, right? Because you might find that, oh, I play this card for this situation. Oh, but I play this other card for the exact same situation. Maybe I don't need that many cards for this situation, and then you can trim space. So, like, you know, if I switch back to this real quick. So Hamscape built itself, whatever. So let's look at Valius, right? Like, the way... Here's my game plan going into Valios. I know that when you look at Valios compared to any other Aquaforce boss unit, it gets you more attacks despite having less axels, so it's not plussing. It doesn't generate you any advantage. What it does is apply defensive pressure on your opponent, because your opponent can't get defensive triggers, meaning that they have to hard guard everything if they want to survive. So when you look at Valios, you then think to yourself, okay, well that means if the number of cards in my opponent's damage zone, if the amount of damage I need to do is less than the number of attacks I have minus the number of cards in hand my opponent has, that means I'm going to win the game. Because they'll always need cards to defend your attacks. So therefore, your game plan in Valios should be, how do I make as many attacks as I can? Which is why we're playing things like Tidal Assault and Terrific Coil, despite, you know... Because my thinking is, I can have both Tidal Assault and Terrific Coil on the board when I'm going for the Valios turn. Obviously, Terrific Coil has to go first, but then I can Terrific Coil twice, swap into the Tidal Assault, and then Tidal Assault can do things. Or, you know, it's why you're playing the Gallias, because you can swing with the Vanguard, and then Gallias again. So it's like, it's this extending, like, in this case, you want redundancy, because your whole game plan is to maximize your number of attacks. So, once you have that in mind, you then need to think, well, what can my opponent do if I'm going for the Valios turn? Well, they can just draw a bunch of cards and guard all my attacks. And then what happens? Well, then you die, because you just, you know, you reached for the Persona Blast, and then the Persona Blast didn't get there. And, you know, it's like, that's what I mean by this second level of thinking, because like a regular level of thinking would be like, oh, you're playing Gallias and Terrific Coil? They do the same thing, why do you need both? And that's what I mean, like, you know, it's not just making a decision, it's why you make a decision. Because the number one critic, or the best person to criticize anything you do, is you. So you should be harsh on yourself. You should be like, why am I playing this card? Like, is it even good? Is it even remotely decent? And that's another trap that I notice a lot of people fall into when it comes to not just deck building, but card games in general, which is, they'll become attached to ideas. And I'm guilty of this as well. Like, I'm very guilty of this, where, I used to think, like, I really like this card. I can't justify why it's good. I just know that I like it and I'm gonna play it. And, the number of times that people are unable to look at something objectively really, really holds them back. So, and I say it comes to both gameplay and deck building, and it's this reluctance. It's this reluctance to admit that you're bad, right? Like, if you admit that you're bad and you second guess all of your choices, that actually helps you look at things from an objective perspective way more easily. Because when you're more critical of yourself, everything you say carries less weight. And when it carries less weight, there's much less room for bias to affect your decisions. And I think that's what's really important here. Real deck start doing cost to analysis? Yes. So, I mean, like, the maths involved in deck building is a whole nother story. That's a whole different story. And you can use it when it comes to, like, look at, where is it? Like, look at this, right? Like, statistically, this Overlord deck should not work. This Overlord deck should not work. But I guarantee you it will. Because it has enough ways to make up for it. But that's the thing, like, you shouldn't rely on just statistics. Statistics should augment theory. Likewise, theory should guide the statistics. Like, sure, I can say that, oh, you're going to hit this card 80% of the time. But what if 80% isn't good enough? What if you literally lose unless you have that card? Then you're literally, like, 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 let's say that you're playing a regular the cross deck, like, no DDD, no turnabout, just regular the cross the end, right? And you say, the chance of me losing all 4 copies of the cross is 5%. Like, sure, 5% sounds really low, but remember, if you're in that 5% situation where you have no more copies of the end in your deck, you literally scoop. You literally cannot win the game. So, to me, like, 5% to just immediately lose the game is awful odds, awful statistics. So, whereas 50-50, like, a 50-50 to either neg my opponent really hard, or 50-50 to get a very soft plus. Like, let's pretend that there was a grade 1 that said, when it comes into play, flip a coin. If you call it right, this gains 3k for the turn, and if you call it wrong, your opponent discards 2 cards. Right? Let's just pretend that Hearthstone Pokemon-like card exists for just a minute. That's a 50-50 chance, which is awful odds. Like, I would almost never bet on a 50-50 chance. But I would play that card. Because the gain is minimal. Like, I guess it wins on both chances, so it's not really a good thing. Okay, so flip a coin. If you guess it right, your opponent discards a card. If you guess it wrong, this gains minus 5k. There we go. So if you flip tails, it's a 3k booster rather than 8k booster. I would still play that card because the chance for it to be good, or rather when it's good, it's just so much better than when it's bad. So this is what I mean, like, you need to have, the theory needs to guide the statistics to tell you which chances you can roll on. Like let me put hard numbers on. Let me put hard numbers on it. Which game would you play? A game where you flip a coin, and if you lose, you pay £5, but if you win, you earn £10? Or would you roll a dice, where if it comes out as 6, you win £50, but if it comes out as 6, you lose £50, but if it comes out as 1 to 5, you lose £10. Right? I would always rather play the coin toss game, because while the odds to win are worse, in the long run you will make more money because your gains outweigh the benefits. Whereas with the dice game, losing 1 time negates 5 wins, so you're overall neutral. Wasn't there a study into risk avoidance? It's not double. No, it's not even close to double. I know what you're talking about. It's closer to like 1.6, 1.7 times. It's not double. Like at one point, like anything above 1.5 times, it already becomes worthwhile. And here's one thing. Here's one critical thing that isn't obvious when it comes to statistics. This is why, you know, I really don't like bringing up stats in Vanguard unless I have concrete abstract numbers, because statistics implies perfect data, and real life is never perfect. Never perfect. Because any number you pull out of statistical theory or like a formula implies to infinity, like that you've done that particular test infinite times. So, like, you know, if you flip a coin infinite times, you'll get half infinity heads and half infinity tails. If you flip a coin 1,000 times, you will definitely not get 500 heads, 500 tails. If you flip 1,000,000 coins, you will not get 500,000 heads, 500,000 tails. Like, that's just not happening. Guaranteed not happening. So, theoretical statistics and practical statistics are two different things. So you could play 10 games and you could not have to G-assist a single game, but that doesn't mean that your grade 1 ratio isn't good. Right? So, just because you're 40% favored to hit something doesn't mean you'll actually hit it 40% of the time. So, and it's impossible to play an infinite number of games of Vanguard to appropriately test. That's the thing. So, you know, that's why, like, even though people say that Hamskei is, oh, you need to flip a trigger, you need to flip a front trigger for it to be good. Yes. And you're not always going to flip a front trigger. Yes. But it will, like, when you flip a front trigger, you win. It's not I agree, it's not perfect. But that's why you have to have them together. So the stats augments the theory, and the theory augments the stats. That's the important thing that you need to take away. And people don't respect that. People just... I don't know, people just... They take just one or the other at face value and roll with it, which is not enough. Yeah, it's like... Anecdotal evidence... How do I describe it? Anecdotal evidence should be a catalyst, not the basis. Like, it's like, I'm not saying you shouldn't just trust, you know, what you've experienced, but it shouldn't be the only thing you trust. Like, it makes sense, right? Everything is always better when it's a sum of parts. Everything's always better when it's a sum of parts. That's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, that's what I mean in that it's not clean cut like this, this, and this. You have to take multiple factors into account, and you have to be good enough to know which factor has more weight than the other. Like, so for example, sometimes the stats will outweigh your theory, and sometimes your theory outweighs the stats. And knowing which one to trust in which situation also requires skill. And it's a hard skill to learn, but it's a skill that you do need to learn. And the only advice I can give for coming up with that skill is practice a bunch. Just practice a bunch. That's all you can do. Like, sorry, two things. Practice a bunch and talk to people. Like, talk to people that are worse than you. Absolutely talk to people that are worse than you, because if they're worse than you, you will eventually realize they're worse than you. And if they're better than you, you will realize they're better than you. And the way you realize that is how they justify things. Like, oh, I think, you know, if someone says, I think this card is bad because X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z doesn't make sense to you, probe further. Does X, Y, and Z not make sense to you because you don't understand? Or does X, Y, and Z not make sense to you because they're wrong and bad? Like, the best way is, you know, don't settle for good enough. Like, always ask for more. Like, there's always more information, always more knowledge. You know, like, when it comes to learning, like, Magic or Weiss, or, like, you know, people don't get good at card games overnight. Like, it took me a year and a half to really get decent at Magic, and the way I got decent at Magic was by just reading lots of articles and watching other people play. Like, I used to rock up to my locals for Magic, and I would just say like, "Hey guys, can I borrow one of your decks for this evening?" And they'd be like, "Sure," and they would just lend me a deck, and I would have no idea how to play it, and I would play it against other decks, and I would get smacked. Like, I would consistently go like 0x at locals. But when I played against those other people playing those decks, after a while, I learned what that deck did. So for example, if I was playing like blue-white control one day, I would play against Burn, and I'd be like, "Oh man, the Burn player, like even though I have this card that gains me life, the Burn player can play this to get around that." But if I'm playing against like aggro, I'll be like, "Aha, I have this board wipe. Like I have this card that can destroy all his creatures. I'm safe against aggro." And then the aggro creature only plays like 1 or 2 creatures a turn and beats me down, and then I'm forced to board wipe anyway, and then he refills the board instead of just committing all his creatures at once. Like, when I see someone do that, I'd be like, "Wow, he played around my board wipe. That's really interesting." And then what would happen is, next week, I would come and be like, "Hey guys, can I borrow a deck?" And I would borrow aggro. And I'd play, and I'd be like, "I remember when the aggro player played against me last week, he held back to play around the board wipe. So I'm going to do that." And then I would become good at aggro from having lost to aggro. But it's about, it's that thinking of like, wow, I know that aggro decks want to win the game as fast as possible, and they do so by playing creatures that are very quick and very efficient. So when I saw that guy didn't fill his board, my thought process was, he hasn't filled his board despite being an aggro deck. Why? Oh, because he's afraid of this, because he's afraid of that. Right? And it's like, once someone shows you like how deep you can dig, it's still up to you to dig that deep yourself. You should absolutely make it as easy for you as possible to have it to make it as easy as possible to dig. But at the end of the day, the depth about knowing what it's impossible to know what you don't know. You know that. Okay, I'm gonna say it from my perspective because it's easier. I know that there's something I don't know, but I don't know what that thing is. That's an awful position to be in. However, knowing what it is that you don't know is a great position to be in. Like, for example, I know that I lost because I didn't damage an eye. Like, I didn't damage an eye Ange, he Superior Road Riviere, and I got blown out the water on grade 2. At that point, you now know what it is you need to work on. Now you need to go and fix it. And that's way easier to do. This part should be cut for video. What I might do is, when I upload the VOD, I'll upload the VOD in its entirety, and then I'll download this part and trim it and re-upload later. Now I have to play around loyalty. Yeah, see? Nathan experienced it firsthand. He almost got the free trip to Japan and got loyaltied because he forgot. Keep asking people to remote fight and learn what's wrong. I mean, yeah, that's one way, but the problem with Vanguard is that once you get to a certain point, practicality doesn't matter anymore. A lot of it is you should still play. You should still play when you can. That's fair. But there's no point playing without knowing what you're playing for. If you're playing just for the sake of it, that's not useful. You need to go into that game thinking, my weaknesses are here, here, and here, and then here's how I'm going to fix them. Or you need to think to yourself, I don't know what I'm missing. Let me play this game and try and analyze what I'm missing. Is what I mean. If you're saying that you don't know what you don't know, then your immediate goal should be to find out what it is that you don't know. Then you can know it. God, that's such a confusing sentence to say. Such a confusing sentence to say. Quick question, can a Rex deck call face down bound cards when playing against Egorg? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's see, grade 2. Let's see, is it Squall Rex? No, that's from hand. Scat Rex? That's the one. They don't ask for a face-up card? It's weird. Let's see. Hellrex Maxima. Let's see. If you have a hot card with Rex, deck search for a Rex, bind it face up, shuffle your deck. If you bound a card... Well, that doesn't call from bind. Hellrex doesn't call from bind, first of all. That's your first problem. And then Full Blade Rex. Soul Blast 1, retire card. Imbalance your effect. If you have a hot card with Rex in its card name, pay the cost. If you choose a card from your bind zone, call it to RC. Yes, you can call face down cards. Yeah. Because it's not asking for a name or any information. It's not asking for any identifying factors. So yeah, you can call face down. Yep. The only thing you can't do is the Rexes that are like call themselves from bind obviously won't go off because they're face down, not face up. But yeah. Yes, if it doesn't specify, anything goes. Man, where were we? Right, approaching the game. Like, so yeah, whenever you play any game, you need to know exactly what you're like. You need to know what the purpose of that game is. Did you say anything goes? Anything goes! But yeah, it's like, you know, playing for fun is one thing, but if there's a specific thing you want to improve on, it's like, things are always easier to do in steps and in small chunks. Like, you can't just say, I want to get good at Vanguard, because, you know, how do you get good at Vanguard? Well, you can get good at guarding and get good at learning how to like guard efficiently and how to like sequence your attacks and how to maximize your effects. Well, how do you do that? Well, you need to know what attacks are worth guarding and what attacks aren't worth guarding. And then how do you learn that? Like once you have, like, when you say I want to get good at Vanguard, that's a long path. And you're like, you know, you can't make that giant leap. No one can ever make that giant leap. You have to take it one step at a time. Like, what's the immediate thing you can do right now? Like, what's the improvement you can do right now? So, you know, in your case, it might be like, the thing I can do right now is learn when to guard properly. And then it's like, okay, cool. So your current like short-term goal is learning to guard properly. So then how do you learn to guard properly? Well, knowing that my deck needs counterblast, so I can't just guard everything, but knowing that my opponent's deck makes unguardable attacks in the late game, so I should be guarding as much early as I can while I still can. Or if you know that your opponent's deck, like, these decks don't exist anymore, but a deck that spent all its combo early, like, you know, like Deleters, right? Like, once Deleter got to its stride game, it lost so much power. Like, going first, turn 3 Deleter was the scariest thing in existence, but then going second, turn 4 Deleter is garbage. So knowing that Deleter drops off really heavily in the late game, you should be like, well, I should guard early so that I don't die, and then I know that I can recoup my advantage later on. Like, it's all about the why. Like, if this, that, but why? If that, this, but why? What's my opinion on net decking? You should absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. Because net decking solves the... So there's 3 things we've just asked, right? Which is what, why, and how. Net decking gets rid of the what. Straight up, net decking gets rid of the what. So once you have the what, you just look at a net deck and be like, why? Why do they do this? How do they do this? Or, you know, like, how does this, you know, they play this card because of that reason, and it fixes this reason because of that. Like, for example, let's look at Nightmare Dolls, right? So some people don't like, what's her name? Some people don't like Marion, the grade 1 that comes out of Soul when you ride a grade 3. but I'm playing it as a 2 of in my list. Why? Because it's an extra attack that helps you extend when you carol. But why is that good? Well, because you're trying to maximize as many attacks as you can, and it's a 0 cost extra attack. And how does it achieve, and that pushes your ceiling. It gives you an extra attack. And so how does getting an extra attack make the deck good? Well, because it's an extra 10k shield your opponent needs to throw down to not die, as long as they haven't taken a defensive trigger. Like, this is a really basic example, but you can see how, like, like, decisions in card games are never just a stick in the ground. It's always a tree. Like, there's like if I asked you to count the number of times a branch forked in a tree, it would take you literally hours, literally days. And it's the same thing here. Like, it's impossible to count like every single decision. But what's important is, when you draw a tree, you don't sit there and you don't draw every single leaf coming out of every single branch. You draw one main trunk, and then a handful of smaller branches, and then maybe 1 or 2 smaller branches off of that, and then you just scribble in some leaves. Cool. And that's the same here. Like, you're not trying to get like the detailed why of everything. You're trying to build up enough of a why this, why that you can approximate it. Because in a tournament game, no one's going to sit there and let you take 10 minutes and you're like, well, he's doing this because of that, he's doing this because of that, he's doing that because of that. You need to come up with the closest approximation that works. Like let's give numerical values to decisions, right? At any point in a tournament, there's any number of decisions you can make. So let's say you're making a decision where there's 3 options. You can either do A, B, or C. And it's impossible for you to know this, but let's pretend that option A gives you a 20% chance to win the game, option B gives you a 50% chance to win the game, and option C gives you an 80% chance to win the game. Like, you're never going to calculate that, ever. But you can get close. You can be like, well, if I follow option A, this happens, then my opponent might do this, my opponent might do that, this might happen, that might happen. And you can tell, like, you can't put numbers on it, but you can tell that's probably going to be bad. Whereas if I do option B, then this might happen, or that might happen. And this is bad, but that is good. But then if I do option C, this could happen or that could happen, and both this and that are good options. So even though you don't know the numbers that are 20 and 80, you can immediately tell that option C is better than option A. And no one needs, you don't need to get to 80% every time, but you need to get to a point, quick enough and reasonably enough that you know that option C is better than option A. That way you know to take option C. And the way to train that, there's a lot of ways to train that. It could either be net decking, just like having someone watch your gameplay and coach you. It could be, I don't know, it could be watching other people play and looking at the decisions they make and wondering why they make their decisions. There's a lot of ways to train that nerve or muscle, but it's a muscle that can definitely be trained. And the best way to train it is to constantly ask why, because the more often you ask why, the more often you'll get an answer to the why. And then once you ask and get answered often enough, eventually you get faster at doing it, right? Like, if I asked you right now, what's the name of the original grade 1 8K vanilla from Link Joker from back in the Limp Break era, I don't think anyone could answer that without looking it up. Right? Like, most people would have to look up Link Joker on the Vanguard. Hey, Dr. Scholar knows it. Binary Star. Hollow Blades Binary Star. Yes, correct. It's not a Star Vader. The name is just Hollow Blades Binary Star. But that's the point, right? Like, that's not something that you've trained to remember. But I've trained to remember it because I played so much Link Joker back when that card was good. So, but now that I've told you about it, and now that you've gone and looked it up, you're like, oh, it's called Hollow Blade Binary Star. And then if I ask you again next week, again, you might not be able to answer, obviously, but you'll realize, like, wait a minute, like, he asked me this last week, and I remember looking it up. And then you might have to look it up again, and it might take you 2 or 3 times, but after a while, you'll be like, oh, I remember it this time. And once you remember it the first time, it'll become quicker and quicker. That's all it is. And remember, because of Zero? Well, yeah. You don't really play it in Zero anymore though, because now you have Palladium, and Palladium's just insane. Yeah, so there are some that everyone knows. But my point is, right, like, the more you expose yourself to it, the more natural it'll feel. And that's the important thing, like... The important thing is being able to justify your decisions. Like, once you can justify your decisions once, it'll become easier to justify your next decisions. Now, whether or not your justification is correct, that's a whole nother story. But the point is, I would rather be very good at justifying my point wrong than being unable to justify my point at all. Because if I can at least justify my point wrong, it makes it easier for someone who is correct to tell me why I'm wrong. If I just say, like, I think this, and I can't say why I think that, someone who's actually right can't help me, because I would be like, well, no, you're wrong. And that's it, and then the conversation goes nowhere, and then no one benefits. If I say, I think this because of this, and someone's like, well, that's wrong because of that, then people learn. Then you learn, because then you're thinking. Be aware of your locals, miscommon deck, not really locals. Yeah, so... This... Scale is a whole nother topic. And it's harder to talk about this one. My suggestion is not to worry, because is it the video? It is actually, yeah. Wait, it's in part 2 though, right? I think you're talking about in part 2, not part 1. Shit, Tony, link part 2. Yeah, link part 2. But the long story short of it is that scale shouldn't matter, because, or rather, it, like, you know, if no one at your locals is playing meta, and you are, then it's fine, right? Like, it shouldn't make a difference. Like, unless for whatever dumb reason everyone in your locals is playing the anti-meta deck, in which case then you're screwed. But in general, there's no reason not to lean towards the meta as a whole, because that's what more people have experience with, and is therefore what you'll be able to get the more resources for. Like, you know, like if you're trying to learn quantum physics, there are way more textbooks about quantum physics in English than there are quantum physics textbooks in Swahili, right? So even though you and everyone in your area speaks Swahili, it makes more sense to learn quantum mechanics in English, because it's much more commonly used. Because, like, you know, you'll be able to find the information much more easily. That's a horrible example, I know, but it's why even Japanese, like, non-English programmers learn to write code in English, because it's just so much more common. It's the standard. Like, it's what everyone knows and expects. Whereas, you know, if you're saying like, oh, my local meta has nobody in my local meta plays Overlord, everyone just plays Mega Colony, it's going to be much harder for someone to give advice for that, because Mega Colony is nowhere near as prevalent. There's not as much advice, or there's not as many people that can give good advice against Mega Colony like that. So it's fine to abandon meta. Just be aware of why you're doing it. Again, it comes back to why, right? Like, I'm going to play Gavrel because it's meta. Well, why is it meta? Because it can 0 to 6 you. And then, but no one in my locals is playing Gavrel. Well, why is no one in your locals playing Gavrel? Are they just bad at the game? Do they just not know how to play the deck? Maybe they can't afford the cards? Yeah, or is it just they prefer they prefer playing Luard, even though it's not as good. They prefer playing, I don't know, they prefer playing Nova Grappler, even though it isn't as good. If that's the case, that's fine. Like, but then once you establish, you know, like they're just playing it because they want to, then they are no longer part of your equation, because you're trying to win, and they're not necessarily, like, sure, they want to win the game, but they're not trying to win the tournament. And so it's the same as like when you're testing and you have to G-assist and you whiff the G-assist. That game just doesn't count. Because, like, sure, that game will happen, but you don't learn anything. Like, it doesn't benefit your deck in any way. Like, it doesn't tell you I should up my ratios. It doesn't tell you I should do this, I should do that. It's only when you have to G-assist like 10 times in a row that you're like, okay, maybe I should change my ratios. But one G-assist, like, it's impossible to draw conclusions from just one thing. Likewise, when someone is playing something that, you know, when you're not playing to win, the conclusions you draw change massively. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it just boils back down to why. Why? Like, as long as you keep asking why, and as long as you can eventually figure out the answer to that why, I think you'll be fine. It'll take a while. It'll wait, like, you know, nothing's instantaneous, but you will get there. Man, that was a lot longer than I thought it would be. Yeah, we ended up cutting that. That could easily have been a 1 hour discussion video. God damn. Why is Duma cosplay 100k? See, I can't answer that. Tony can answer that. But if I tried to answer it, it would probably be like, well, probably because Vietnamese cosplay just involves taking his shirt off, and he probably doesn't want to take his shirt off on stream. Whether or not I'm right or wrong, that's another story, but then it's up to me to go and investigate whether or not I'm correct. But that's a whole nother story anyway. Got you free cosplay last week. But yeah, like that's why when I'm gonna write this article for Clan Selection 2, it's not gonna go super in depth. Like, I'm just gonna be like, here's what the deck's trying to do at a glance. Here's why we play one or two specific cards, and here's how they contribute to the game plan. And then the rest is up to you to figure out. Because once you think about like how that figures out, that's what makes you a better player. Like, you know, anyone can look at the article and be like, this deck sucks, or this deck is good. But it takes a lot more skill to be like, this deck sucks because of this. This deck is good because of this. Like, you know, like if you're really interested in like improving overall as a Vanguard player, that could be a piece of homework for you. You know, on Thursday night or Friday night when I finish writing this article and publish it, try to copy and paste it and add to it. Like, you know, extend what I'm writing about it. Say like, try and add more information for someone else reading the article. You never know, like, you might discover something yourself and try to, you might think like, what more can I say about this deck? And then you think about it a little bit and be like, oh, I noticed this, I noticed that. Or you could be writing something and be like, wait a minute, but this also changes, you know, that contradicts this or that contradicts that. You know, like, the more you think about something, the better you get at thinking. And that's kind of what you're really looking to train here. And, you know, that's one of the reasons I consider myself very good at what I'm doing, because most Vanguard players, they will, like, I'm not that good at making the right decision. I'll admit that. Like, when it comes to like sitting at a table in a tournament and making the right play, I make the right play on often less compared to other good players. But the difference is, most of the other good players, when they make that correct play, they will not be able to tell you why they made that play. Most of the time, or like, you know, or their reasoning will be very subtle, you know, it'll be very like basic, it'll be like, oh, it's just this and this. Like, if you can describe to someone like, because this, because this, because this, because this, because this, like, you know, like that itself shows a level of skill, because you're able to juggle like level A, then level B, then level C, then level D. Like, you know, like if you're juggling up to like digging down to level D deep in something, that you're thinking about 4 things at once. Because you're thinking about the original thing, then why that, then why that, then why that. And the deeper you go, the more things you have to think about. And once you're thinking about more things all at once, you just become better at it. Did anyone actually build me on Cardfight Online? It's just that. I mean, Cardfight Online isn't a thing anymore, right? Cardfight Online, it's discontinued. So I don't know what you mean by that. Less conscious play, more mental patterns? Not quite. Like, sure, you can be on autopilot. There's nothing wrong with being on autopilot. But it's impossible to be on autopilot without, like, you can't just go from 0 to autopilot. No one can do that. It's just that very few people actively need to think about the decision they made from 0 to autopilot. Whereas if you actively focus on it, you'll notice, like, you know, you'll notice it more, and once you notice it more, then you can develop it more. Like, you know, like if you go to the gym, you can't train a muscle you don't know exists. Like you can do like, you know, like whatever weightlifting or like, you know, hip curling or whatever. But if you don't know what muscle that's meant to train, you don't know if you're doing that exercise correctly or not. And if you don't know if you're doing that exercise correctly or not, you don't know if it's going to like give you results. Flow state, kind of, yeah. Like there's nothing wrong with thinking about the flowchart, but you need to be like, it's thinking about the flowchart and then going through the flowchart are two different things. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Ugh. And this is empty. Oh, unfortunate. Pain. Yeah. What else have we got? I think that's kind of all there is, right? Thoughts on nuking stand triggers? Good. Correct. Absolutely correct. Stand triggers are toxic. Stand triggers are awful. I'm glad stand triggers are gone. You know what time it is? Of course, that's what time it is. Well, I actually think that's probably going to be a good time to call it a night. So yeah, we'll say goodbye with this sellout. Why are stands bad? See, that's actually not a bad discussion video. That I could record a video for that separately. That might be worth doing. Keep your eyes out on YouTube for that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for now. If you'd like to buy any cards, Vanguard, Weiss, whatever, Strictly Broken TCG, using code Strictly Broken TCG Yellow SBTG Yellow Card for a discount at checkout. Thank you for supporting the channel. And for when I eventually make that video, YouTube links down in the description below, Twitter down there below, like every relevant link is basically down below. Just click those and go from there. But yeah, like, this is good. I've got some ideas. I'll pin them up and work on them after I finish this clan selection article. And like I said, I promise Friday at the latest. Friday at the latest, I promise. But until then, who have we got to see? Who's doing something? Who's doing anything? Oh, Tony just started going, I guess. Alright. Tony started to stream at just the right time. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. So we'll head off that way. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Like I said, this was to make up for there being no stream on Sunday and the fact that there's going to be no stream tomorrow. But if you want to watch something tomorrow evening anyway, when the time I would normally be streaming, I will be playing my first round of Top Cut of the YCV UK Open. So check the Twitter. I'll be retweeting the link then. Yeah, just check Twitter for then. But until then, good night. Bye bye.